Are we live? No, we're not live. I can swear, yeah.
We are live. Are we live?
I
Yeah.
don't know. No, we're not live, yeah. You're still ugly, Scott.
Look, it takes
But look
years,
at that
years.
faces.
It takes years to look this ugly. You can't.
You're a liar. Look at that. He's sexy as.
It's took me 46 years to attain this beauty, Chris.
Yeah. First of all, you're 82, so 46. So for first 46, you were just ugly, and now you're just terribly ugly.
Why have enemies when you can have Chris?
We don't, you know, he's a whole pack, isn't he?
Oh, mate, he's a nightmare. He is a nightmare. Are we live, Chris, or not?
I'm pretty sure we are.
This is live in the corner.
Oh. Hold on, let me work out how to get this thing off. It's been a while. There we go. Hello, good evening, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. You have to bear with the comments because, yeah, YouTube's doing its YouTube thing. So, hey, Craig. Hey, Dave. Hi, Nat. Hey, Chris. Hi, Alice.
What's up, Dave? What's up, Craig?
Hey, the insect breeder.
Scott, nobody wants to hear your voice. Shut up.
You almost swore then, didn't you?
What?
You almost swore then, and it's not 9 p.m.
Well.
Chris has got his camera off because he is literally probably done about 18 hours at work, ain't you? Something stupid. How many hours have you done today?
13.
Yeah. Did you get dinner?
Kind of.
Yeah, I know that one. Hey, Sally.
I did almost 2 hours in the gym and then 13 hour shift.
Well, the gym's your own fault.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm pretty.
But no doubt you're in the gym at 4:30 this morning.
3.
3:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
What time are you at work? 6?
5:30.
Oof. I think I'd go after work.
Can't.
Yeah.
I say yeah.
Sally, I can't get to my pictures until after the live, unfortunately. But tonight's live, micro exotics. Ads unfortunately can't get to the BTS, hence he is doing a 20% discount on his website tonight. So if any of you guys want to take advantage of that, please do so. It's Scott's Inverts 20, all in capital letters, as a discount code. That's right, Ads.
Yeah, I think so. I sent it to you.
Hold on, Dave. What are you on about? Oh, from Jason. Yeah. We are picking everything up.
Hey, Charlotte.
Yeah.
We also have a little video of Ad's shop, kind of Is it halfway done? Would you say 3/4?
Yeah, 3/4 now. Yeah.
So the shop builds so far. So what that will do is once he's completed it, if we invite Ads back on, then we'll be able to have a look at it completed, all singing and dancing as well, as you're about to see the whole progress. But yeah. Hey, Kirsty. Kirsty says, thank you so much for the Cubarius mystery box you sent out, Ads. I was absolutely blown away.
Was that yesterday? I think that was yesterday, wasn't it?
You would have got it today, though, wouldn't you?
Yes, what I mean. Yeah. I think I sent it out yesterday.
Craig's been a channel member for 29 months and says feels like a lifetime. Yeah, look, a 1 month with me, Craig, is like a lifetime. Hey, Kev, you all right? So I think, it's been a fair few months since you last come on, hasn't it, Ads?
Yeah, I think it was maybe last year we did.
Yeah, well, last year. Could be good, 6-7 months ago?
Yeah, easily, I think. So
But
I
how-
had this. I had the unit when we did the last one, didn't I? But it just wasn't
Yeah.
very far along with it.
No, you
Yeah.
had the unit, but I don't think you were far into it. No.
It's just taken ages. I'm not a builder and I'm tight, so I've been trying to do all the work myself. The amount of time I've just spent sat on the floor watching YouTube videos, I teach myself how to do stuff or fix what I fucked. Broken.
To be fair though, I mean, 6 months ago, Charlotte says, "See you in a bit. See you Sunday, Sally." I suppose really though, when you're running a business, you've got to make ends meet as well as improving the shop end of it as well as.
Well, that's it. So when we started a business, it started in a cupboard, and then it progressed into a cupboard and a box bedroom, and then we moved it into the bigger bedroom, and then we moved house, and then we had a bedroom and the garage, converted to garage, and then we took on a shed, and we had a storage unit, and then it just made sense then to try and get somewhere. It was a bit bigger, do away with the storage unit and have somewhere to try and have it all together, and have some of my house back, which my missus is really chuffed with, to have a spare bedroom back. And my little one already wants to turn it into a games room, which I'm massively down with. So.
Or you could put child number 2 in there.
Maybe. Or they could have bunk beds, and we could still have a games room.
Our boys have got bunk beds.
And have you got a games room?
Sorry?
And have you got a games room?
Ish. We've got the front room and a back room. So the back room's got a telly and an Xbox in there, but the Xbox hardly ever gets turned on really, unless Layla's playing Harry Potter.
Oh, ours is just a glorified DVD player now. Yeah.
Literally, yeah. The wife's in chat. Hey, Tara. Hey, John. Evening all. You got any animals in yet, Adam?
I have never turned my Xbox on.
We moved this week. Well, last week I moved everything over on Thursday and Friday. So this Monday was the first day packing from the unit, which was weird because obviously I know where everything is here, and because I moved it all last week, it's all jumbled up. Some of the labels have come off. I don't know where's what. I didn't take a pen over. I didn't take some labels over. I didn't take some sellotape over. So I spent so many times just going back and forth, just making sure that I've got everything that I needed. It's still going to take a good few weeks of sorting, but yeah, all the animals are in there now, which is good.
I mean, just to move animals by themselves is an absolute pain. But if you're moving animals and a business,
it took 20 carloads just to move the animals over.
Jeez.
And I've still got so much stuff here, like still loads of stuff that's got to go over. But I've got everything over there that I needed to run the website with, and all the auxiliary stuff can start going over. The plants I'm going to keep doing from home. Obviously, in the shop front we'll have plants for sale, but the unit itself isn't big enough to have both the plants and the animals in the same room. Also, it becomes difficult with temperatures because of all the lighting and then having animals. So I spent a lot of money converting the garage when we bought the house. So I'm going to keep doing the plants in the garage. Also, my wife works nights, so it's nice for me to be able to go out and still do something in the evening, and still be here for my little one. So it's nice to still have some of it here. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure some animals will creep back into the house before long as well.
As well as the isopods, have you got spiders on there now, or?
Oh yeah, we've got. I keep a lot of Avix, South American tree spiders. So we tend not to really sell many spiders on the website. So normally when we breed spiders, we normally just go out in bulk to other retailers. We might keep a few back to sell on the website or do auctions. But yeah, I mean we've got 2 Carabiner Versicolor egg sacs at the moment. One of them's as big as a golf ball. Got Yopanora suratima on an egg sac at the moment. Just paired. Yeah, I'm really chuffed with that one. Just paired Aviculara purpurea the other day. Another suratima. Got a Diversipes male come in from the BTS. Charlie's picking it up for me. So yeah, I keep quite a few spiders. They're more my personal projects than sort of like business projects. But yeah, South American tree spiders are what I like.
Chris has been a channel member for 39 months. He says, Scott, you old ginger W. I know what to do. Can't say it till 9 p.m. So if you're new to the channel, we do swear come 9 o'clock. So if you've got any kids watching, come 9 o'clock, remove them because they will hear adult conversation. They will hear swear words, and it does get a little bit racy after 9 p.m. to be honest, especially when Chris is around. Chris likes to mark the 9 p.m. watershed with an array of insults towards me, which has been a staple of the channel for a couple of years now. Shall we have a look at your new shop and what you're doing in there and all the rest of it? I'm going to play that video that you sent. What I'll do as well is I'll give it about another hour and I'll play it again just in case anybody new comes in and they want to have a look. In the meantime, remember that 20% discount code on Ads' website. The details are just scrolling across the bottom right now if you want to go and take advantage of that, because if you're not going to the BTS like Ads, but you still want that discount, kaboom. All right, let's have a little look.
Right, yes, so I told you I would take a video of where we're at. So this is the unit. It's basically just an old wooden shed, and it definitely was in a lot worse nick than this when we took it on. So when we took it on last year, it wasn't insulated, it had no floors, barely any electrics, there's holes in the wall, you can see outside. This is going to be the shop front. It's still a while off. I still need to finish off the shelving and stain that one and fit up the electrics over here. We've got some more racking to go over here. Then obviously this will be the shop front, and then we come through to the middle section, which is what's going to be the sort of like the warehouse slash sort of like staff room type thing. A bit of chair down there, and kind of a kettle and a little fridge. So yeah, it's nice, nice space to work from. I've started moving a lot of stuff in. I've got loads more stuff from home to move in. There's another rack to go over on the side there, some shelving to go up. And then this room here, I've just finished clearing out most of the old stuff from in here. Getting quite happy with the temperatures now. It's still a mess. There's still a few more racks to come in, some from home. We're going to start moving all the animals over into this room this week, and then yeah, this will be the animal breeding room. So I've got all the isopods, nice bench to work from. There's another big 5-foot rack to go here, 3 4-foot racks to go here. So this will be a double gang down here. So yeah, I'm quite chuffed with where we're at. It's taken nearly a year. I've done all the work myself with a little bit of help from a friend. But yeah, it's taken me some time. I'm quite excited. One of the main things I'm quite excited about is we're going to have the leaf cutters living in the counter, and then you'll be able to see them through the window here, and then we'll have them come out and run in a tube across the top here and then back down into a feeding platform on this side. And they'll come up back across the tube and back into the nest. This counter, I've made it tall enough so that we can do terrarium workshops in the shop. I've got loads of cool shit going on the walls, like skulls and taxidermy insects and stuff like that. So yeah, it's coming on. I reckon we'll be working out of here by the end of May, running the website and actually running the business from here by the end of May. And then the goal is to actually have the shop open by September. But we'll see where we get on with that. But hey ho.
Wow, that is some serious space.
So I sent you that last week. I have actually moved all of the animals in and a lot more stuff now. So that back room is loads fuller now. All the shelves are full. And I have been working out there this week. So I'm actually slightly ahead of schedule, which is good. So instead of opening the shop in September, I think I might do like a soft open where we open just a couple of days a week where I know I'm going to be there already. I've just fitted a doorbell today. So if I'm out the back, someone can ring the doorbell. I can come say hello. So yeah, it makes it a little bit more functional. So yeah, I'm still working on it, but I'm going to try and finish the shelving off this week and a few other bits, and hopefully get it open maybe for June, end of June, just maybe 1 or 2 days a week.
Whereabouts in the country is it? And then where can people find out when it is open?
Oh, so yeah, go on, Chris.
Yeah, no, you answer first.
So yeah, we're in Cornwall, which is really, really close to the Eden project. So if you like terrariums, come down to see the Eden Project and then come visit us in our shop. We're just by Par Docks. Yeah, it's nice. It's just on a small industrial estate. It's very close to my house, and most importantly, it was really cheap. It was within my budget, so it's taken a lot of money to get it actually usable. But now that it's usable, I've got somewhere that's fit for purpose. 5 minutes from my house, 5 minutes from the school. So you know, my missus works out of town, so if there's something wrong, I can fly to the school, pick my daughter up. So it's nice to have something. If I forget something, I can come home. I can come home for lunch. You know, it's quite nice. So yeah, if you want to find out more about the shop, just follow us on our social media. I'm sure I'm going to be doing something when it opens, or at least advertising it. So yeah.
Now I have 2 questions instead of 2 issues. First of all, not the first one, the second one that popped up was you said go to Eden Project. No, it's fine. I can't say what it is because it's not.
You don't like it?
I've been there and it's a big, a lot of words greenhouse.
It's
Yeah,
not
it is,
up to Chris's expectations.
But if you think a lot of our customers are also really into plants and really into terrariums, because we don't just do insects, we do plants and terrariums. That's a big part of what we do is bioactive, and essentially the Eden Project is the UK's largest terrarium. And it's really cool. Well, we're 5 minutes away from it. We got an annual pass because we live really close. We go all the time. We quite like it.
The second issue what I have is, you know, you showed your fancy worktop to do terrarium works and stuff like that. What happens if a midget comes in? Let's say Link decides to visit you, and how the hell she's gonna reach?
Oh, I've got a little table underneath that we could just put next to. You know, like so if my daughter comes in, she does her colouring.
You're sorted.
Link can use that table.
I was kind of thinking that, but then I thought, wow, he must have extra tables just in case he did like, let's say, a child's workshop or something like that.
I actually haven't thought about that, in all honesty. I kind of had loads of wood left over after finishing the insulating, and I've got ADHD, so I'll be there one day and I'll just be like, oh, I'm just going to start building a counter, and the next thing I know, I've built it, and I'm like, it's quite high, but I've already built it, so that's it now.
My ADHD works in a completely different way. I'll go there to build the counter, end up painting a wall instead.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. I wasn't actually there building the counter. I was clearing up to take the wood to the tip, and I was like, "Oh, this is left over. I'll just build something out of it." Oh, no, I built the counter, and that was it.
Just build a foldable step for the counter. What folds onto the counter? No, it will still look fancy. And if a person comes in, you just fold it down and they stand on that.
That sounds expensive. You know what's cheaper is a no midget sign, I reckon.
No midget sign. I suppose you've got to be careful when you do foldable steps because of the liability.
Not really, no.
Yeah. I don't know, because a lot of the stock is out the back. We're not going to have it all on display out the front. It's impossible. Most of it's in reading tubs out the back. We can bring them through. So one thing I've been thinking about is perhaps doing up a waiver, because I don't want to.
We can barely hear you.
I don't want anyone tripping over and trying to sue me. So perhaps a waiver might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
My comments have finally caught up with themselves. Yes, Tara, I am using your cup. Hey, Link. Hey, Josh. Hey, Amy. Link, I've got to say, your entry into the BTS journal was flipping amazing. Absolutely awesome. I think it's quite incredible, really, considering 5 years ago, there are a couple of people selling isopods, and there weren't a lot of species available. And now, 5 years later, there's companies, and there's such a thriving isopod community. It's
a huge hobby. I think there's.
I might have to apologise there actually, because 5 years ago is when I started looking at isopods. So the community could have been there beforehand, really. How long have you been into it?
So we've been running for 5.5 years now, and I kept isopods for a while before that. I'd always had like dwarf whites and dwarf purples in sort of like poison dart frog tanks prior to that, but had never really thought of them as an entity in themselves, you know, as a hobby in themselves. And then once I get a few species, it was like, oh, that's cool. I'll get some more. I'll get some more of these. But the hobby itself has grown exponentially, and there's still new species coming in weekly. You know, weekly they're discovering new species. So much stuff's getting reclassed.
Do you know the different morphs? Are they literally just from crossbreeding?
Well, it depends. I mean, it's not crossbreeding. Most species, it's a mutation, a natural mutation that's occurred in a colony, and then we've tried to isolate that and replicate that mutation going forward to sort of separate it into its own line. It isn't necessarily breeding two species together to create a hybrid. It's isolating a mutation that's cropped up. Albinism or something like that, or leucism, or a particular color pattern or morph. Orange seems to be a common morph, like where you'll get a species and then all of a sudden you've got an orange version of that species. We've actually isolated a few different morphs here. Porcelio Hoffmann-Segi Yeti was which one that we isolated, and that's the white version of Porcelio Hoffmann-Segi. We had some white ones crop up naturally in the colony, so separated those, bred those together. They produced some visual babies. We just kept isolating until we got a pure white colony, and now we produce pure white Porcelio Hoffmann-Segi. We worked on.
Do they still just have white the Yeti babies, or do the original species pop up?
Sometimes we still get some normals, and again in the normals, sometimes you still get some white babies once the genetics are in there, but. By isolating that, you can strengthen the genes, so we're getting more. I don't know if you did sort of like genetics in school when you do the square. You can.
Yeah. I'm 46, man, Brad. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, so a lot of the offspring would still carry, even if visually normal, they would carry that gene to be heterozygous for that gene. But yeah, it's not hybridization. It is isolation of particular mutations that have cropped up. And there's lots of different ones all the time, which pretty cool one that's quite popular at the moment is Armadillidium gestroi Milky Way, which was isolated by Jen in the UK, and that's a really cool morph. It's actually like instead of a color morph, it's a pattern morph. So the back is, I can't show you. I haven't got any animals here anymore, so I can't even show you. Probably on my phone. Just going to hold it up to the screen.
Just while you're doing that, I'll answer. Aaron says, "Hi Scott, do you know anyone or where I can get a Salem ornamental female? Either Creatures from the North or Spar Spiders. Check those two sites. If they haven't got them, then go over to the Spider Shop. So if you use a Spider Shop, put in Scott 5 for 5% discount. But I think between Spar Spiders and CFTL, I think just about every species on the planet is covered. Salem ornamental.
Oh, Formosa.
Formosa.
I don't think Rad has any. He may have slings, but hold on, Nod.
It's really bright on my phone there.
Yeah, not gonna work.
It's weird.
Camera
wipe.
Yeah, it's getting warm, so
No, camera.
Oh yeah, the one on my computer.
There you go.
Nah, won't help. Oh well.
It's on the website. If you just type in www.microexotics.co.uk, you can find it on there.
What's it called?
Armadillidium gestroi Milky Way. But you could probably get a comparison of, because you'll have the normal.
Yeah, bedroom breeder. You're right, dude. Chris is a bit of a whiz with StreamYard. He makes all the magic happen.
Oh, they forgot Armadillo or something.
Chris is like, I don't know if I can make it, and I'm like, please make it.
You fucking.
Did you, when you first started keeping the Isopods ads, when did you go, right, I'm going to turn this into a business? And did your family and friends think you were crazy?
They still do, yeah. People still do. You meet someone in the pub, and like, what do you do for a living?
Hey, books and beyond.
I'm a
Milky Way something.
Yeah, Armadillidium gestroi Milky Way. I don't know. I think I've always kept exotic pets since I was 8. I'm like 37 now. And I'd worked for other companies, and I got to a point where I just wanted to do it myself. So yeah, I think early on keeping woodlice for sure. Yeah, I didn't isolate this, but this is an example of a morph. You can put, if you go back a page, you probably have the Destroy, the normal version, which is yellow. You can see the visual difference.
So if you like that Isopod and add site, Scott's inverts 20 capital letters, 20% off, just while the live is running.
I will leave it up till midnight, and it'll go off at midnight.
What these ones add?
So that's the standard version of Destroy, the nominant form, the wild type. So that's what they look like. So the morph Milky Way you can see is a pattern differential. So yeah.
Chris, do you want to pick out your favourites?
What?
Could you pick out some whatever takes your fancy and put them up on screen?
What?
Could you just get the website back up again and
Yeah.
pick out any of those Isopods that you like the look of, and then Ads can tell us a little bit about them, maybe.
Just give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to go check that my daughter's still asleep. And I'll be back.
No worries.
I fancy
So, in the
Well,
future, we are planning a live from Ads' actual shop, but his wife works nights, and they've got the little one, so Ads has got the little one, so you just got to bear with. Hey, Osman.
You're asking the wrong person. Oh, I know which ones I like. The fucking.
I didn't swear.
I haven't swore yet.
You just did.
It's just me talking.
Just Chris's normal vocabulary.
Oh, good
Yeah.
choice.
There you go.
Thai
What was that?
spikies, absolutely tiny but beautiful species.
How small are you
Adults
talking?
are about adults are like 0.5 centimeter, 5 mil.
Oh, jeez.
See, Scott,
Yeah, they're really cool.
they're even bigger than your Willie.
8 p.m., Chris. 9 p.m., sorry.
I didn't say swear word.
So we sold some recently to someone, and I sent them 5 adults, and then they phoned me up like, "Well, you've sent me these tiny little isopods." I was like, "Have you researched them at all, mate? Like, I've sent you 5 adults there because the babies are orange and they sort of get this this darker color as they get older." I sent the guy, it's actually 6 adults. I sent him. He'd ordered 5, and then after he did a little bit of research, he come back to me. He's like, "I'm really sorry. I didn't realize they were that small." So, yeah, I'm not trying to bug you off. That's just how small they
Maybe.
are.
Yeah, they are beautiful.
So you can just about see those bumps with your eye, but they really are small, tiny little things. And most of these really, like the spiky, like Laorella and the Thai spikes, and they are really, really small species. Really, Spinosus, really small. Again, not as small as these guys, but micro fauna. They really are.
But with today's phones, you can just literally go into video mode and zoom in.
Oh yeah. I was taking some photos of some durian spikies earlier on, and you can, like, looking at them via my phone screen rather than looking at them with my eye, you can see the details so much better.
Chris, are you still there?
He's gone.
He's disappeared for 2 minutes. No worries. Did you ever think that when you started the actual business itself, that you would be doing it full time?
No. God, no. I thought it would only ever be a sort of like a hobby on the side. Look, I was working full-time nights when I started it off.
What were you doing?
I was a care worker. Adults with autism. It was a difficult job. I didn't really enjoy it, if I'm honest. Wasn't my favourite job. It's not what I wanted to do. But I had, we just had my little one, and we'd moved to Cornwall, and we needed work. We needed money. We was trying to buy a house, and so yeah, I worked full time, and then all the money I made from the business, I just kept putting it back in, and then we got to a point where it was getting quite busy, and I couldn't do full time nights and sort of like get all the orders out and get everything fed. So I dropped my hours down, and then it got busier and busier, and then we got to a point where I thought, actually, I probably could make this work as a full time job. And yeah, September 2000. 2003. Quit my job and been doing this full time since
September when?
2003.
2003.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this for
Say
22 years.
2023. 2003. No,
Oh,
I
right.
know because I quit my job the same day my daughter started school because I wouldn't have been able to carry on working and do the school runs and that kind of stuff. So I
Hey,
quit
man,
my
I
job the
know
same
how.
day. 2003. Yeah,
I was like,
2023.
hey.
So it's been a long day. It's been a really long day today.
So that's 2 years. Well, coming up to 2 years.
Well, yeah, 2 years I've been doing it like full time, but the website's now been open for 5.5 years.
Interestingly enough, I used to do adults with learning difficulties in care.
It was a real challenging job. I worked with a few individuals for like a long period of time, and one of the guys it was challenging. I saw some stuff that
Yeah, no, I know.
will haunt me forever. How did I fix the ant situation? It took two of us to get the tube. There's a bit of context. Earlier on, I tried to connect up the new pod to the leaf cutting ants. I had 20 minutes spare between picking my daughter up from Rainbows and dropping some stuff at the unit. And it had arrived. I found the box. I thought, we stick them together. And I took the cap out and I tried to put the new tube in and it wouldn't go in. And I pushed it all the way inside the old one and they were absolutely everywhere. It was chaos. In the end, I just sort of shoved the old thing back in and they were all over the garage. Then this afternoon, my mate came back over with me, and between the two of us, we managed to get it on a lot quicker. And then we both just sat there, catching them off the wall and throwing them back into the new colony. So we have fixed it, but it was absolute chaos in there earlier on, I must admit.
What sort of colony do you think you've got? And how big the fungus?
6,000. The fungus is 2 gardens now, so the central chamber's full. And they've started building a second garden in the second chamber, which is actually now bigger than the first garden. It got to a point where I couldn't feed them anymore because both gardens were touching the ceiling. Every time I opened the tub, the top they were out, despite having the ant-proof oil around the top. So I've been feeding them for the last month in the waste area. And now I've got the new tube on. We've started feeding them again in the new tube. But the rate that it's growing at the moment, it is so much.
Nah, Donna, Chris is very tired. He weren't going to come on tonight, but he did. Thank God.
And I'm planning to leave. So.
Right, just before you leave, then, Chris, is there anything on the website that's worth highlighting? Just so we've got Chris to get it up.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I quickly went through. It needs a big update. I've been saving it till after having moved over to the shop where I can start going through everything. I know I've got like 40 or 50 species that need to sort of go up onto the website. But if you're in our raffle group, some of them have been going up in there, but I actually start listing them on the website. There's a lot of stuff and a lot of new dry goods that need to go up on the website and just stuff that I've been holding back till we got into the unit, trying not to get a bit more organised.
Oh, I've been a channel member for a year.
Right, both of you. I love you, but I have to go.
No worries, Chris. Good to get some rest.
I'll speak with you both later.
Oh, take care. See you Saturday.
Yeah, see you Saturday, definitely. Ads, I can't see you Saturday because you're too lazy to come on.
I'll probably see you in Bristol, good sir, in August, July.
Bristol, August, July. I don't know when.
July,
yeah, July. End of July. All right, no worries. Night, everyone.
Bro, take it easy.
Enjoy.
Oh, bless him. He is absolutely knackered.
He looks it, doesn't
he? Yeah. They put a lot on him at work, I think.
He's a good lad, isn't he?
Hey, Shabbat. July, August is Glasgow. What's been the most challenging part of setting up an Isopod business? Is there a certain thing that you just is quite challenging that us at home might not have actually thought of. Chris Hale has been a channel member for 11 months as well. Cheers, Chris.
I find the hardest thing is if you've got kids. Like we moved to Cornwall, just me and my partner, so we haven't got any family down here. You got kids. My partner still works as well. She works nights. It can be really difficult because she doesn't get a rota till like Tuesday for what she's working the following week. And it's really difficult to plan and organize and sort of have set days to do things. Even though we've set days on the website that we ship on Monday, we ship on Tuesdays. All of a sudden you get like a bank holiday and a night shift thrown in, and you're like, oh, now I've got to do a full day with a 6-year-old with me. She don't want to be there. You know, she's 6. She'll help out to a degree, but she's gonna get bored. And for me, I find sort of the logistics side of actually trying to work, and it's a bit more difficult now. I've moved everything over to the unit. Like when my partner was at work and little one was asleep, I'd go out and feed all the spiders. I'd go out and do some plants, go up to the Isopod room. Whereas now that has to be done in the daytime. But excitingly, I do have someone coming to start with me tomorrow for his first day. He's just going to be helping me with like feeding all the brown mantises, feeding all the spiderlings. We're going to be retubbing so many isopods now that we've got the space to actually expand into. Retubbing, getting new colonies in. So yeah, a big sort of point of expansion now. Now that I've finished spending, or hopefully finished spending loads of money on the building of the shop, we can start reinvesting again back into new species and sort of expanding the range essentially now.
Where are we? Kirsty says you're going to do mystery boxes at Bristol.
Yeah, we always do mystery boxes. Just come up and ask. Just tell us how much you want to spend. Walk away for 5 minutes and I'll put you something together good. I had all the stickers and the bags under the table, but we sold everything that we took to London. Everything. Didn't bring any isopods back apart from ones that I bought from someone else's table.
I'm not surprised with the prices.
They were good prices.
You literally took isopods that are this value and dropped them right down.
Well, because I was moving over to the unit, I basically started going through some of the surplus in the colonies, and I needed to make some money to finish the shop. So I thought, well, here's an opportunity. I'm already driving all the way to London. I've got a table. Let's drop the prices. Let's do some really good deals. And that's what we did. And I come back and I had the money to finish off buying the racking that we needed to get out the back and get everything moved over. So it was a win-win, really.
A fantastic weekend.
It was good fun. It was good fun.
For those that you don't know, we've both got a real close friend called Charlie, 8-Legged Emporium, and he basically just hosted a barbecue on the Saturday night. Me and Az stayed at Charlie's. Chris and Ling were there, as well as a spider shop and some other spa spiders as well as. And it was a fantastic evening, followed by I thought it was a really good show, the London show.
Oh, it was a good show. Yeah, really enjoyed myself. The show. Did you buy it? You did buy it. You showed me what you bought, didn't you? You come over to the table.
Yeah,
I
I went a bit overboard, so I'm a bit skint for BTS. I'm gonna have to see family to lend a bit of cash, I think.
Same.
Honestly, yeah.
I think that's the most I've ever bought at a show. I never normally get off my table, but because both Charlie and Debs were there right next to us, and you were there, you watched the table for a bit as well. I was able to get a bit more of a walk around, which was nice. I spent quite a bit. I got chatting to some other breeders, made some good contacts. So yeah, it was a really good show. Enjoyed it. I never enjoy the drive home, but it was a good crack.
Are the Isopod breeders? Are they all good? Are you all good friends and stuff like that? Then yeah, no animosity or anything like that, or.
I don't have animosity with anyone. I deal with all of them. I don't have any animosity at all. I always stay out of drama. And who's my favourite? Micro Exotics, mate. 100%. All day long. OG. But I don't have a problem with anyone doing it. Look, what you got to think about, right, is isopods are kept as cultures, right? So every time you sell a culture of 10 isopods to someone, they are inevitably going to breed what you've sent them. They are then going to want to sell those surplus. So every customer is a potential rival. You can't have any animosity when doing this. You're providing people that they're founding stock to start a similar business, and you can see it's hundreds of people doing it now. I feel like we might see more websites coming up soon because I know eBay have talked about not allowing the sale of live food again on there, which would mean a blanket ban of selling inverts on eBay, which is going to encourage more people to either, set up a website or go through a WhatsApp group or something like that. So
I'm just reading comments every time I look down like that. So videos by the Mad Animal House. Will you be going to the IHS? Me and Ashley, Pocket Exotics. We mean to be going to Wigan, but not going to Wigan now. So me and the partner are going to IHS instead.
no, probably not. Probably not.
Fresh Josh, how do you keep all the temps for different isopods, or do you generally keep them all the same? Temperature
I keep
is something they really struggle with.
Keep the room at one temperature, and what you'll find is on the racks, naturally you will have a higher temperature towards the top, and keep your lower temperature species towards the bottom. If you get 4 different thermostats and put one on each shelf, you will see that there is actually a difference between it. If you're using a fan in the room, though, sometimes that can dissipate that because you're spreading the heat around. But so far, 5 years, I keep my room at 24.5.
I've got a fan, but my room is 12 foot by 7, so it's nowhere near the size of yours. So I've got a fan at about chest height, and all that's done is kept the same temperature around the whole room at chest height, and the temperature's lower down as well, and the temperature's higher up. So instead of it being warmer down one end to the other, it's now the same temperature in that area on that level.
Yeah. You can get ones that you can sort of like point at the ceiling or point at the ground, or they'll give a better airflow around the room. But I think it's good to have a little bit of differentiation, especially when you've got so many species. And some of them, some of the European species will like it cooler than the tropical species. But my rule of thumb is whenever I try something out new, it goes on the middle shelf and we see how it's doing. We'll do a bit more research on it. If it's not doing so well, might want it warmer, might want it cooler, move it around.
Just reading down the comments again. Always best to stay out of the drama. Honestly, admire how you stay out of it all. So very, very jealous of that. It's you just turn away to it, don't you?
Yeah, I just don't engage with it.
Unless it's somebody like a real close friend, and then you got to have their backs. Do you know what I mean? Or if it's family member, of course you do. But
yeah. But I mean, it's professionalism, isn't it? Like I've been in the sort of exotics game for a long time, and your reputation is really, really important. If you get a bad reputation for selling out sick animals or giving out poor husbandry advice, it follows you around. It'll follow you around. It is your reputation then. So I've worked really hard to make sure that we're perceived as a nice person and we get a good reputation. That's not to say that I am a nice person, but that people perceive I am. No, but
I've spent hours with you now on you are genuinely a nice person.
Yeah, I like what I do. I'm not out here to be rich. My sole goal for what I do is to not go to work. I do not want to go to work and be told what I have to do. I just want to do something that I enjoy all the time and make enough money to live off of it. And that's what this has always been about. It's not been about trying to make millions of pounds, because you ain't gonna do that breeding woodlice. But if I can stay employed for myself, then I'm gonna be happy in the long run.
I think
that's it.
I think there's a drama and stuff. I think there's enough going on in the world without all us lot adding to it. Do you know what I mean?
Who gives a crap if someone's selling woodlice cheaper than that person's selling woodlice? There's a lot of drama, and you get it with every hobby, don't you? You get it with every single hobby. People like to be top of the game in whatever game they're doing. It's just human nature, but you don't have to be top of the game to be enjoying it. That's the way I see it. I mean, it makes me, I get to go to work. And I literally just get to play with bugs all day.
Said, nice to listen. Good luck with the isopods.
Thank you.
Is there any species that you haven't got that you're like desperate to get in?
Oh yeah, loads, man. I see ones all the time coming up that I want. Sometimes it's budget, and B, Ardentelia, or formerly Marinella. Okay, I've had a very hit and miss track record with Ardentelia. I think I was one of the first people to bring in and breed tricolour, ember bees, the more common ones that are seen now. But I have not had lasting success with any of them. And, I've kept quite a few different species. I've got some ideas on how I would like to do it. And until I've set up that system over at the new unit, then I won't touch them again. But I've got a very good idea of how I would like to keep them. and what I feel will work, knowing what I've learned over the years. So yeah, there's a lot of Marinella or Ardentella species. There's lots of spiky species that I like. One species I've been dying to get my hands on is a morph of my favourite species, Porcellio werneri. There's a white morph out there. I've been desperate for that for a long time. And I know people have got it, but the price tag sometimes it's even too high. I'm not going to spend that. But there's a lot of them. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
I'll get it. Some of the spiders I want, the slings are, £100, and you know yourself over time, as somebody that buys not sells, other people are going to start breeding it, and in a couple of years' time, instead of being £100 a sling, it'll be like 20 or 30 quid, and it's a bit more.
It'll become accessible. Yeah, much, you don't have to be the first person to keep it, do you? To still be able to enjoy it later on down the line.
Bugs and Beyond said, "What's the top 5 species on your wish list?" We'll go over those, and then your top 5 beginner species after that.
Yeah. So number one's got to be Spasudo Armadillium gallianus, which is one of the really fancy spiky ones. It's absolutely mint. I would really like to get Troglodilla vex, which is a large Troglodilla species, almost like a werneri, tropical. It's colourful. I'm not sure of the genus, the Flippinadillo. I don't think it actually is. Crocodile, which is quite cool, out of the Philippines. Porcellio werneri white, I would like to get into. There's also a really cool morph of Expansus I've seen going around America, autumnal equinox. That would be cool to see that in the hobby. But some of these species are here already with some of the other breeders. Some of the other importers are bringing them in, and they are here. They are available. They are around. So one of the top 5 beginner species is definitely my favourite, Armadillidium maculatum, the zebra. It comes in quite a few different colour morphs. It's practically bomb-proof. They're one of the first species that I started out with, and actually made me think, oh man, woodlice are really cool. These are not just like the ones I've got in my garden. And they're really easy to keep. Armadillidium klugi, which is another sort of classic roll of the ball, fancy colours. It looks like it's painted like a clown, so it's called the clown isopod. Beginner species. Porcellio laevis comes in several different colours. It's pretty much bomb-proof, really good clean-up crews for much larger vivarium. Armadillidium vulgare, another easy one. Cubaris panda king, Cubaris marina, Cubaris white shark, all really good big beginner Cubaris species that breed quite fast, and they're really not difficult to keep in any shape. Make excellent cleanup crews.
Panda kings being quite expensive, and then they're just.
I paid major money for panda kings when they first came in. Yeah,
somebody made a lot of money when they first come into the UK.
Yeah, because they breed very, very quickly. Their prices drop massively. I mean, like the pink panda came onto the market maybe early last year, late the year before. Already the price of that's come down. It's accessible. It's pure pink panda kings. There's about 7 or 8 different morphs now, maybe even more than that. But yeah, they're a popular and easy species to keep. Yeah.
Got any rubber duckies on the site?
Yeah, there's rubber duckies on site.
How much
Always got rubber duckies. So what are they up at the moment? I think 45 for 5. Bear in mind, we always put in 20% extra, so it's 6. Get you 20% off. So 45 minus 10% is 450 minus £9. So if you use your 20% code, they will cost you £34 right now. I think.
Wow,
that's right. Probably tired.
See, I remember when rubber duckies were like £25 each.
Oh yeah, my first rubber duckies I paid a hell of a lot more for them. Yeah. I've failed with quite a few species myself. I've bought stuff in and I've not done very well with it. Some species are really expensive, and it's because of the scarcity. If there's not as many, it's supply and demand. If there's lots of something around, the price is less. If there's not so many, then the price tends to be higher.
Bart said, have you had any problems lately with some isopods like granulatum or white sharks? Both crashed from out of nowhere from one day to another.
No, I have in fact, my colony of granulatum, I hate to say this, are still in the same tub. When I started them 5 years ago, they probably had 4 or 5 half substrate changes in that time. They're still going strong. And my white shark, I can guarantee that some of the original soil from the original culture is still in their new culture, because I've gone from a tub like this to a tub like this to a tub like this to a tub like this, and each time I just pour the fucking.
Scott, shut the fuck up, you fucking ugly piece of fucking.
Just come back for that.
Fuck off, you fucking ginger cunt. Fat ugly bastard.
Just come out of nowhere. He's gone again.
Hey, Greg. So it is 9 p.m. So we do have adult conversation. There could be the odd swear word dropped out every now and again. But oh shit, I'm not dropping the wife's cup. Honest. Hope she ain't watching. Dave called it. Well, what did he say? Hey, Greg, you're right, dude. If you could go back in time to young Isopod ads, is there anything you would have changed? Anything you would have done different?
How far back in time are we going?
Let's say 6 months before you decided to start the business. No, scratch that. When you first got into Isopods, is there anything that
I tell you the first thing I wouldn't have done, right? So when I started out, plastic tubs, and I used a soldering iron to melt holes in them for ventilation. I still use a lot of those tubs today.
ASKT.
Same tubs. If I was to go back, I would use the ventilation system that I use now with clip down lids and screen vents, so that the enclosures are escape proof. Because when you keep a large collection stacked on the racks, inevitably some of them get out and they get into the tub below. They get into the tub below that. They get into the tub below that. And we do have some problems with Porcellanoides pruinosis in several of our colonies. And once you get them in there, you can't fucking get them back out. So young Josh, who starts tomorrow, hope you're watching this, mate, because we've got quite a few cultures to go through tomorrow, and we're going to be picking out individual pods, probably for about a month.
Oh yeah,
picking them out and separating them off.
He's now going to be going. Hi ads. Yeah, I'm not very well. Can't go to work today.
I'm not coming here tomorrow. But I definitely change the ventilation and start off like that from the beginning. So if anyone's looking at getting into Isopods, starting out, if you're using Braplast tubs, find a way to cover the holes. And if you're making your own tubs, use one of the 3D printed vents that are on the market. There's loads of different companies out there making them. We sell them on our website, but shop around. There's loads of other companies making them as well. Or even just cut a hole and hot glue some fly screen over it. But make sure you've got a clip down there.
Or just go on his website while there's 20% off and buy yourself a load.
Yeah, there's that. There's always that.
That Muslim mesh, that works well.
Muslim mesh?
Yeah. Really, it's
you mean muslin, don't you? Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, that stuff.
Organza. That's the one. Organza. Been a while since I've had one of them.
Been a long day. Screwing vents are a game changer, says Jeanette. Love the vents. Has lost too many white sharks in my room before I started using those, says Amy. Donna, that's a cracking one. Amy says Muslin. Videos by Mad Animal House. We don't mention that channel on mine. Only because he ignored my daughter at a show when he was talking to nobody else. And she come back to me crying. Donna says, Az, what soil mix do you use for Isopods?
Well, obviously we use Microexotics premium soil mix, don't we, for everything.
That's like the be all and end all of all questions, that is.
Yeah.
Is it literally just one mix for every single species?
That's what I use. Yeah, and then I'll adapt it to, say, for example, if it's Cubaris, then we might put a little bit more limestone granulate in there.
Hey, Jezza.
The environment to it. But yeah, basically it's the same. We even use the same for millipedes. It's the substrate is edible. They eat it, and I can tell you from some of the 5 or 6 year old cultures that we've got that are this much frass and no soil, no rotting wood at all, that they do eat everything that's organic in there eventually. So we're starting off with a really good substrate, and the deeper you can make it, the better, because it's always going to help retain humidity better. Yeah, I use the same substrate mix for pretty much everything.
Do the baby isopods, will they munch the frass or?
No, the frass is pretty much inedible. I mean, some of them will probably try and eat it, but it's also hydrophobic. I don't know, a lot of people don't know this. It doesn't actually absorb water. So if you don't clean your isopods out and you allow the frass to build up and you water a particular area, you will see
float
it just floats on top. And if obviously if you've got baby isopods, mancate, it will just drown them. So you do still need to have an absorbency to your substrate. So when it comes to clearing out, I think I've talked about this before, is I would do a 50% change, is where I would literally just cut half the soil away from the tub, take it all out, put it into another tub. We'll sort through that, find all the isopods that are still in it, and then we'll top up the other side with completely fresh substrate. Then that's a 50-50 change, literally just half down the middle. And then next time we change the substrate, we'll do the other half.
Just sift through the substrate as well, just in case there's any babies in there.
Yeah, of course. Like, so I don't just take it out and throw it away. I normally would take that out, set it up in another tub, and leave it for a few weeks. If you put some leaf litter on the top or a few bits of cork, they'll tend to keep coming up and congregating. And if you just do weekly when you're going through, you're like, oh well, they need to be moved into that tub. Eventually, you'll be left with none left. What I do like to do is try and freeze any of the old soil, though I don't just chuck it out, because we are dealing with a lot of European species that really would do well, especially down in the south.
Yeah.
It's a bit warmer. They would probably flourish down here and survive a winter. And last thing we want to do is cause an ecological catastrophe involving wood lice, because they're going to point the finger at me.
Wow. 100%. Of course they will.
I don't fancy that.
Amy says substrate is in stock right now. Go get some with the discount. Remember, the discount is during this stream only. Actually, why isn't? Oh, I can't do it. So it's after 9 o'clock. So we've heard a lot about isopods. I want to know your ultimate secret. Your ultimate secret.
Got my deepest, darkest secret.
So your deepest, darkest secret would involve, right? And I don't think that you sacrifice virgins. You're 37 and you look like you're still in your 20s. How on earth do you manage that?
I just can't grow a beard, bruv. That's what it is. Makes me look mega young. What's that done?
No special skincare.
If you look closely, I've got. In fact, actually, I think I've got that thing on that filters you a little bit. Touch up my appearance. Take that off. Now you can see the true me. But definitely more wrinkly.
Amy says,
no, because I've not lived a healthy lifestyle in any way, shape, or form. I should look a lot worse at this, in all honesty.
A lot of my friends, they look. I mean, like I said, I'm 46, so I'm like almost 10 years older. A lot of my friends literally look like they're in their 60s or 70s. But normally you find it's the drinkers that look older than what they actually are. I mean, when I say drinkers, I mean like every day, not just like once a weekend or something.
I was a big drinker for a long time, and we talked about this the other week at the barbecue. I gave up at Christmas, and the barbecue was actually the first social event I've been to this year where I wasn't drinking. I was sat there drinking cups of tea with you in the kitchen.
Yeah, rock the tea.
Yeah, rock the tea, mate.
I mean, like I said to you at the barbecue, my issue back in the day was Class A's. I was never. I mean, I went out drinking when I was a teenager, but I didn't like getting drunk. But I liked the illegal stuff, unfortunately. Mark Cooper says, what temperatures do you keep your isopods, or are they set up on racks dependent on temperature requirements?
So again, the room is heated to. I mean, the new room currently sits between the lowest it's hit is 23.2, the highest it's hit is 24.8, and that's kind of like the margin I've got it in. Obviously, the higher shelves are a little bit warmer, so most of the sort of like the tropical stuff, your Cubaris, Chocoladillo.
I was just about to say, what genus have you got at what temperature?
So yeah, most of the tropical stuff, anything from sort of Southeast Asia's across the higher shelves. A lot of the spiders are higher up, so the praying mantises are higher up, and then lower down, I've got a lot more of the European species, the Porcello species. It's still quite warm in there, don't get me wrong, but it makes it a lot easier than rather trying to heat all these individual tubs, which don't really do well when heated with heat packs, with heat, either tape or you know, what's the wire
Heat
called?
cables, heat mats, they tend to kill them off, don't they?
No, you should never have heat coming from underneath with inverts anyway, because they burrow to escape heat. So if you've got heat underneath, they're burrowing to escape heat. All of a sudden, it's getting fucking hotter and hotter. I don't know what's going on. So you shouldn't really use them with isopods anyway. The ambient temperature is enough.
Is there any isopods that you could keep quite happily in the home without any heat? So I should imagine house temperatures between 10 degrees to about 25.
Yeah, Armadillidium maculatum, Porcello laevis. There's lots of European species. Armadillidium vulgare lives outside in your garden when your temperature is at -3 in the winter. So yeah, they can be kept in the house. In fact, anything, it's a holiday for them having that sort of species like that in the house. So yeah, there are lots. I wouldn't be keeping, you know, expensive Southeast Asian species at that temperature, but a lot of the European stuff, there's still lots of colourful European stuff as well that you could keep. Yeah, easily.
Where do they go when it freezes over? Do they literally just go deeper down into the soil?
Not necessarily. No, they'll just.
Or is there any species that can actually freeze and be completely fine?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's plenty of species, I imagine, higher up northern altitudes. But the ones that we keep in the hobby tend to do quite well kept at those temperatures.
I think what we'll do, nature's instinct. I think what we'll do is play your shop video again, just in case there's anybody that missed it from the start, just so everybody can see where you are up to.
Have you got that preloaded? I took a new one of all the animals moved in the other day. If I send it to you via text, can you show it up on there? I don't know.
I'd have to disappear off screen for about 10 minutes. If you'd have sent it earlier.
I didn't think, mate. I've been so busy today. I got my daughter to sleep 2 minutes before this stream started.
If you want to hold the stream for 5 minutes, can you see comments?
If I open the link you sent me on, I think I will, won't I?
While you're checking, I'll play the first video, and then if you send it me via WhatsApp, I can then try and download it and then add it quickly. And then if everybody in chat just bears with us, awesome. So this is, where are we? Where are we?
Right, yes, so I told you I would take a video of where we're at. So this is the unit. It's basically just an old wooden shed, and it definitely was in a lot worse nick than this when we took it on. So when we took it on last year, it wasn't insulated, it had no floors, barely any electrics, there's holes in the wall, you can see outside. This is going to be the shop front. It's still a while off. I still need to finish off the shelving and stain that one and fit up the electrics over here. I've got some more racking to go over here. Then obviously this will be the shop front, and then we come through to the middle section, which is what's going to be the sort of like the warehouse slash sort of like staff room type thing. Got a bit of chair down there, and have a kettle and a little fridge. So yeah, it's nice, nice space to work from. I've started moving a lot of stuff in. I've got loads more stuff from home to move in. There's another rack to go over on the side there, some shelving to go up. And then this room here, I've just finished clearing out most of the old stuff from in here. Getting quite happy with the temperatures now. It's still a mess. There's still a few more racks to come in, some from home. We're going to start moving all the animals over into this room this week. and then yeah, this will be the animal breeding room. So I've got all the isopods, nice bench to work from. There's another big 5-foot rack to go here, 3 4-foot racks to go here. So this will be a double gang down here. So yeah, I'm quite chuffed with where we're at. It's taken nearly a year. I've done all the work myself with a little bit of help from a friend. But yeah, it's taken me some time. I'm quite excited. One of the main things I'm quite excited about is we're going to have the leaf cutters living in the counter, and then you'll be able to see them through the window here. And then we'll have them come out and run in a tube across the top here, and then back down into a feeding platform on this side. And they'll come up back across the tube and back into the nest. This counter, I've made it tall enough so that we can do terrarium workshops in the shop. I've got loads of cool shit going on the walls, like skulls and taxidermy insects and stuff like that. So yeah, it's coming on. I reckon we'll be working out of here by the end of May, running the website and actually running the business from here by the end of May. And then the goal is to actually have the shop open by September. But we'll see where we get on with that. But hey ho.
Hey, Axolotl, you're right. Ads. Donna says, what's the best way to keep ember bees? I shall disappear for 2 minutes just to download that video and then get it uploaded so we can play it as well.
Did you get it, yeah?
Hold on.
It's signal shit in here. I'll go back in there.
Give me 2 minutes and I'll get it sorted.
Okay. So the best way to keep Marinella ember bee with Marinella, or as they're now known, Ardentelia. Most of us have seemed to find that cross ventilation is really good, along with high humidity, without keeping the enclosure wet, which sounds easy, which can be a little bit more difficult. They don't really like wet feet, so when getting substrate wet, a lot of us have been using wicking methods. So using like a reservoir that you fill up, but wicks water into the soil, and it keeps it moist without getting it soaking. Also, diet seems to play sort of quite a key thing with lichen and mosses being sort of like the preferred food, or one of the preferred food. If you put a fresh piece of lichen in over a piece that isn't so fresh, and you watch them swarm all over it. Now, I always seem to think that I don't actually think they're eating the moss or they're eating the lichen. They seem to be eating the biofilm that's growing on it, so that the microorganisms that are then growing on that. I don't know. There's lots of different sort of debates and topics on that, but that's how I've kept them with mixed success in the past. I'm better at it now than I was when I first started keeping them. But yeah, there's lots of different views doing it. I'd watch a few YouTube videos, see how people are doing it, but it tends to be the most successful way of keeping them is in a sort of semi-live planted enclosure, changing out fresh mosses, fresh lichens, and having live plants in there to help keep the humidity up without keeping the ground wet. And they seem to do quite well like that. So yeah, let me see if I can see anyone else's comments here.
Just could you resend me that video, ads? Yeah. Just quickly.
Gotta find it again now, don't I? So yeah, 20 seconds. He's coming to me. Yeah. Bad connection, ads. Yeah, that was me in the garage there. I haven't got very good signal. Did anyone want me to talk that again, or just leave me a comment, because obviously Scott's disappeared. Let me run this. Got all silent here, haven't I? So yeah, obviously what's got to go to speak. We don't just do isopods. Keep a massive range of other species as well. We've got a lot of different cockroach species, millipede species, springtail species. We've got quite a few tarantula species, actually, to be fair as well. We sell praying mantis. When the shop's open, we'll be getting things in like centipedes, stick insects, snails. The shop will be pretty much a specialist invertebrate store. At the front of the shop, we'll have a really good selection of different species that you won't be able to find on the website, that will only be available in the store. And of course, the other thing that we do is we grow tropical plants. So we've got, I say we, it's only me. It's only me. But we also grow tropical plants. Got a lot of different species of tropical plants, some really rare ones and quite hard to grow. And all that can be found in the shop when we're open. So if you're ever down in Cornwall, certainly come say hello, give us a visit, or if you're at a show, come over and say hello.
Hopefully we've got it loaded. I forgot, I got a load of footage on there from a previous video. I had to delete it all before it download this. What? That's a lot of stuff gone in there, Ad.
Yeah, so that was actually halfway through. So it's been even
Ad, just push your jack into your jack point on your.
Even out.
It's still a little bit. Try backing out and coming back in again.
I love what this is. Can you hear me now?
You just sound a little bit robotic.
Yeah, so I went into the garage. I was going to show you the leaf guidance, but the signals to the Wi-Fi is a bit good there.
Yeah, your audio has gone to pot.
What about I just take
So if you back out, if you close the StreamYard down and then restart it again.
It's still connected.
If you close the StreamYard down and then follow the link back in again, hopefully that will reboot it. I think he got the point. I hope he got the point. He needs to put 50p in his meter. Have you pressed something because a bad connection doesn't make your sound speed up? I think it was basically because he got into his garage and got a real poor signal, and then it's just knackered him up, hasn't it? Hello?
Is that better?
That's much better.
Oh. So did no one hear anything that I just said a minute ago then?
No. Welcome to StreamYard. Welcome to the internet.
Sorry, guys.
Let's have a look. The comments. No, not much. Soon, when the shop is open, we'll have centipedes, stick insects, and other things only available in the store.
Oh, someone heard me then. Brilliant. Someone's been
That's what
transcribing.
Amy said. Don't just stock isopods, cockroaches. What species of cockroach you got going on?
Oh, mate, fucking loads. Chuff, the one I'm most pleased with at the moment is we've just bred the Australian burrowing cockroach, which is the big fucker from Australia, that takes like ages to mature, and then it's really maternal with the young. They dig a burrow, and then mum will come out every night, collect leaves, and then line the burrow for them to eat the leaves. They do that for about 6 months before the babies come out. So I'm quite really chuffed with that. Yeah, we've got sapphire roach, flower roach, emerald roach, obsidian cockroach, domino roach. Oh, I've got about 20 species, I think, of cockroach. Yeah, quite
Awesome.
a few. Extinct roach. Yeah, I've got these really small pill bug cockroaches that look like a small black emerald cockroach, but they roll into a ball. They're pretty cool. I've not had them long, but I like them. I can't remember the Latin.
I think I know what you. They look like an isopod, don't they?
Almost, yeah. But when they're out, they look more like a cockroach. But when they roll up into a ball, then they look like an isopod. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember the Latin. I bought that a while back.
Amy needs them. How's the rhino roaches going? Says Mark Goodwin.
Yeah, really good. Obviously they've been moved over to the unit, but I've left them alone. I've literally just moved the box. I had a quick look in the corner of the tub where I can see where their burrow is, and I can see. Well, I saw quite a few white nymphs running around down there, and I've just put it back on the shelf, and I shall leave them alone now. I don't want to dig it up or anything. I'll wait for they come out of their own accord.
When you're not family in and you're not isopoding, what's Az doing to chill out?
I smoke a lot of weed.
Better play.
No, my other hobby is I paint miniatures, but I don't do that as much. That's just something like every now and then my ADHD will take me down a little tangent. Also read quite a lot of books, video game, like most blokes. Now that I don't drink, I don't go out or anything like that either. So spend most of the time at home.
What's your favourite music?
Oh, anything. If I like it, if it goes in my ear and I like it, then I like it. If I don't like it, I don't like it. I like anything from Phil Collins to Pantera. You know, it doesn't matter. If I like it, I like it. If I like it, I like it. You know.
If you're in pissed off dad mode, Pantera is the one.
Yeah.
In fact, if you're in pissed off dad mode and you're in the car, Pantera can be dangerous.
Well, my daughter loves it. She loves rock and roll. She's sitting in the back seat. Rock and roll, Daddy.
My boys, oh my god! I kept thinking, they won't remember the lyrics or nothing like that. Insane Clown Posse, they sing it. If I go, they both turn around to me and go, "Here comes the bobo," and then they run off because the police are coming.
Well, I've been listening to quite a bit of Ren recently, and my daughter started singing some of the lines the other day, and I was like, "Shh, dude, you can't sing that." But he sings it in the song. I was like, "No, dude, you can't sing that."
He is one of the most incredible artists to come out since Arctic Monkeys.
He's brilliant.
I mean,
isn't he is absolutely brilliant.
When it comes to going from one genre to the next, completely fluid. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Lady Gaga, but Lady Gaga can do it with ease. Arctic Monkeys, they went from one genre to another and completely changed everything. And Ren can literally sing anything. Amazing.
Yeah, and in so many different styles as well.
And it's the frustration he gets with other people as well in his lyrics. It's just like very relatable, very relatable. Takes me back to childhood. Some of the stuff he says, almost flipping amazing. Especially his beef with Kojo, he just absolutely slaughtered him. Just like wow.
I saw that.
Amy says, "What was the maternal roach species you mentioned? Will you have any available?"
It's called the Australian burrowing cockroach. I will maybe have a few available. I've promised a couple out to a few people, and I would like to keep a good number back for the future. But I will let a few go. Probably. Apparently, they can have up to 30 nymphs. So let's say worst case scenario, there's 10 in there. Maybe I'll let 4 go. I promised Jeremy a pair or a couple. And yeah, I would like to keep some back. So yeah, I will have some available, but it's a slow process. They can stay with a month for up to 6 months. So they come out when they're ready, and we'll see how many there are and how many we want to let go. but they're not cheap as a cockroach goes. I don't believe. I know I paid a lot for the pair that I bought.
Yeah, Amy's already pesting her other half about them.
They are cool. As cockroaches go, they are bloody massive. They're heavy. They're actually quite heavy in your hand. Almost like the rhinoceros beetle of cockroaches.
I've got a rhinoceros grub. And I'm waiting for it to turn into a beetle, and I've had it well over a year, and it literally stretches. It stretches across my palm, and it
I've had a couple of.
must be about that type of fat, and it's still going. I mean, when you look at it and you look at the pellets that come out of the backside, you think, "Wow."
Yeah, I've
Do you know what
had
I
a
mean?
few.
It's like how did you pass those?
They're crazy things, and they're absolutely massive.
You're not going BTS, are you?
No, I'm not.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I've just done London. 2 weeks ago. I've got to go back to Kent for a funeral in a few weeks, and I've then got to go to a wedding a week after that. And it obviously, if I keep taking weekends away, I'm not getting all my jobs done, and then I'm being put behind. And I'm at a state now where I want to get the shop finished, and I'm focused on that really at the moment. So I want to get the shop open and finished, and I want to get some staff in there, and I want to be able to have a day off again. I want to be able to have a day off again because I don't really have a lot of time off. Always working over at the unit or doing something on the website, or it's a full-time job now, answering emails and whatnot.
It's crazy when you look at time off, because it's like this weekend, I've got the weekend off work, but Saturday morning I've got a few bits to do. I've got to go see my dad at the hospital in the afternoon with my mum, and then it's like the dinner and everything, and going out with everybody that's coming along to the BTS pre-show, and then it's the BTS. So although your mind's taking that break, your body's all hyped up. So you still got to remember to walk away from it all and actually take a break and have some of the bit of like. It seems really boring, but you have literally just got to sit down and do nothing for half hour.
The shows are quite labor intensive because it's all the pre-packing. Like a lot of the guys that go to the shows, they take spiders and mantises and stuff like that. Now they just take the tubs that those spiders and mantises live in, take to the show. If they don't sell them, they come home and they put the tub back on the shelf. Whereas isopods, because we keep them in a big colony, if I was to take all of my colonies and then have them and pack them, there wouldn't be enough. I'd need like 15 tables. And you'd constantly be capturing them and taking them. So you have to pre-pack them. You'd have to pre-pack them before you go. So that can take a couple of days to pre-pack everything. Now, if the show's quite far away, I live in Cornwall, so if it's in London or Coventry, you've got to leave the day before because, nobody wants to be leaving at 4 a.m. to do a show and then come home. So that's another day of travelling. Then you've got the show itself. You might want to stay another night if it's far away, you don't want to drive back. You then got to come home, release all that stuff, put it back into its tubs again, put everything back, get it sorted. Then by which point you're back to packing the orders, You've got to sort your own stuff out that you bought. Then you've got all the husbandry of all the animals that you've left behind, and you won't have done for nearly 5 or 6 days because you've been away at show. So I find them to be quite labour intensive, and sometimes they can be a lot of work. You get back and you just think, "Fuck me, I'm knackered." Coventry.
The shows are a bit. The shows are the invert shows more than anything. Like for me now, it's hyped up almost because my anxieties go out the roof, and I'm thinking I've got to record the show video as well as my own, get the interviews done, and then before I know what's going on, it's about 3 o'clock and everybody's packing up.
Yeah, it goes really quick the day. When you're actually there and you're trading, talking to people all day and having fun. Yeah, it goes really quick. I did enjoy London.
Don't get a chance to talk to everybody that I want to talk to. Just quickly, Phil's in chat. Incredible inverts and other animals. He said when Reethe's College was breeding those roaches, they were feeding on them on eucalyptus trees, but not sure if they've got them anymore.
I read that that's what they exclusively fed on in the wild, and we've been feeding them on an oak leaf litter, and I've had them for 2.5 years, and they're doing absolutely fine. I've actually seen Mum dragging oak leaves down into the burrow. I did try some eucalyptus leaves because I've got a eucalyptus in the garden. I don't know if it's the wrong type, but they weren't keen on them.
Which is the most active praying mantis? My ghost, whilst beautiful, just hangs there. What do you recommend?
They're all pretty. That's the nature of a praying mantis, isn't it? They're ambush predators, so they tend to sit still and pretend to be something that they're not till something flies past and eats it. They're generally all pretty sit still. None of them are very active, run aroundy pets. That's just not what they are. They're ambush predators, and they find a spot, sit, and wait.
My mate, he tends to get the giant. Is it Linnaeus, the giant African ones? He'll tend to get like one or two of those, so they become mature about this time of year. And then he's got in his front room, he's got like a big chandelier, and he'll put them up there, and they literally live on there, catching the flies, and have a fantastic time. Yeah, and it's pretty cool.
I've got some big plant grow tanks out in the garage, and whenever I get sort of like a mantis that might have had a bad mold, it goes in there to live. They've all got separate tanks to live in, and they're just sort of like pets. Any like stray live food, or there you go. Just have it. Yeah, we've got a few in there.
Nature's Instinct says, I have 4 species of mantis, all giant ones, but I'd say Shirodo is most active and has the most character. Would you agree with that?
I've not a species I've kept.
Well,
mantis aren't a huge thing. We stock a few species, but they're not something that I claim to be an expert on for sure.
What shows are you doing this year, Az?
Well, the tables were sold out really fast, didn't they? I was hoping to do Taunton, London, and Bristol. Luckily, Charlie booked 2 tables for London, and he only wanted one of them. So they were nice to let me have Charlie's other table. And the same for Bristol. He's had something else come up, so I managed to take his table on for Bristol. But literally, I couldn't get a table. Definitely like to have done Taunton, because that is something I can do within a day. I can drive there and back in the same day. It's my closest one. I might do Southampton. Just want to see where I'm at by that sort of closer to the time. But that's it really this year. They did invite me to go back and do Malvern this weekend, just gone, the RHS Malvern show. Me and Charlie did it last year. It was really good fun, but logistically, it was like a 4-day event. You got to be there on the first day to set up. We took so much stock. We had to get an Airbnb. It was good fun, but we're doing the shop this year and the London show
And do Osmo.
a week before. It was just too much. So yeah, I'm only human.
Yeah, I get it. The giant Australian and Papua New Guinea's rainforest mantis are arsy as fuck when guarding their oothers. They bite. Charlotte says, when is Bristol? Darren's going to research those choices. Yeah, 27th of July. Amy says Bristol is. Awesome.
Bristol's always good, isn't it? It's fun.
Is there any other inverts that you keep that aren't on the website or you don't talk about very often, apart from the leaf cutters?
Probably. I mean, I was over there the other day, and obviously as I was moving everything, I was like, "Fucking hell!" Because some of it's been in the garage, some of it's been in the room, some of it's been down in the living room, and then finally getting it all into one space, I was just like, "Bloody hell!" I've actually got quite a lot of stuff here, but it's all like the really small, obscure woodlice species, probably that you buy in and then forget about because I've never listed them on the website. So I don't forget about them. They still get fed and watered every week, but just because there's a small number of them, they just kind of right up in the corner of the shelf in a little bra plast. There's quite a few sort of smaller, intricate little species that we've got coming up soon. That'll be ready soon. I am quite into tarantulas. I've kept tarantulas for a long time. I've never really been heavily into them, but I've always liked Avics. I like the colours. It's nice to have sort of like a nice looking spider. I'm not so keen on old world fossorials that just a pet hole. It just doesn't really do much for me. But I do like. I know I'm probably going to upset a lot of people watching right now, but they're just not for me. Charlie loves them. You know, he's all into those, and you. I know you do as well. It's just not really my thing. But
it's like a hole of death.
I've got some T. Celadonia, and I've got velvet spiders. I've got quite a few different types of jumping spiders. Bred jumping spiders a couple of times this year, and that's been a bit of a learning curve. The first sort of few egg sacs, I didn't realise they could get out of the air holes. So there's a couple of egg sacs worth of Floridas living in the garage. But yeah, I've sort of got a lot more into spiders over the last couple of years, and it's not something I want to be an expert on. They're just something I enjoy keeping, and they're very easy to keep alongside everything else.
I think I've got some inces babies at the moment. I don't want to dig her up and go looking. I'll just wait until the babies start emerging and then go. Yeah, that's about right.
Well, I never remove eggs. I always just leave them in. I always have done.
Same, yeah. Unless there's some sort of crazy issue, then I'll leave them in there. But I always think if the spider eats the egg sac, it's part of nature. It's part of the course. Yeah, and it weren't meant to be like. But
It's like all those
royal breeders,
royal python breeders that cut eggs. So that's a big debate, isn't it? Like, wow, I wouldn't do that because they wouldn't hatch in the wild, and
nature knows best.
Yeah, it's harsh, but it's true.
Again, with python breeders and stuff like that, though, there's that many morphs and crossbreeds and stuff goes on. Maybe they've got a cutter. Maybe are they still strong enough to get out? I don't know. Phil and Amy are going to the IHS in June. Osman says can't be Asian fossorials. Pet holes are most likely overfed and have no reason to come out. But yeah, personal preferences. Another mantis is the Rhombodra. I can't pronounce that species, so I do apologise. Giant Asian shield mantis is very cool to look at, but is probably the least active. Pet holes are most likely overfed, said Osman. I don't know. Maybe. You see, the ones that I've currently got, I'll put the food at the actual top of the burrow with the tongues. And if they come out, happy days. If they don't, then I don't allow the prey to then go down the hole. Plus, if you're really careful with what you're doing, as you know yourself, you get your tongs, hold the roach there. So when the spider comes up, you can pull it backwards and you can see the whole spider there. So you get a good kind of idea of the size of their abdomen. What type of size colonies do you get to before you can start taking them out for the website?
Try and get to 50. It depends on the species. Like if it's Cubaris, they don't have such large broods, so you can get to 50. You can sell 4 or 5 lots off, and then all of a sudden it's going to take you a while to get back to that number again. Whereas Porcellio, some of the Armadillidium species, you're talking like 100+ babies at a time. You can start with 10 and you can have 100, 200 in a couple of months. So it's species dependent. I like to look at numbers and I think, yeah, I can sell some of those. The really handy thing with the website is I can run it from my phone. I can change all the stock levels from my phone. So if I'm going through doing husbandry and all of a sudden I think, oh, actually, there isn't many of them at the moment, I'll just take them out of stock. Or I think, oh, Christ, there's quite a few in there. I'll put some more in stock. I might even lower the price. So I just work on what I've got in the room, what I've got available. Yeah, I think 50 is a good strong colony, like 50 sort of large juvenile to adult size animals. Because a lot of them don't actually have to be full size to breed. You'll notice that some of the smaller ones can breed, again, depending on the species. They don't have to be full size before they'll start producing broods. But yeah, 50 is sort of like a good number to get a healthy colony before you start selling, because it's very easy to have a colony crash if you start selling from a colony. I've done it several times, sold too many. I did it with Thai Spiky last year. I had a thriving colony of Thai Spiky and I sold about 80 or 90 of them off, and then all of a sudden it's taken me ages just to get back to sort of like 50 again. So it's But also, some of them I really like. Some of them I like having a big colony of, and I'm like, well, I don't actually want to sell any of them.
Well, maculatum, of course. You've got to have a big colony of maculatum.
Yeah.
Do
I've
you know
got
what
a
I
really
mean?
cool
Yeah.
one at the moment, which is it's a yellow maculatum, but instead of being smooth, it's almost serrated, so it's a physiological morph as opposed to a color morph. Really, really cool looking. I've got quite a decent size.
Serrated around the skirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look cool when they're like that, I think. The segregated skirt looks awesome on Isopods.
Yeah, it's really different as opposed to just the smooth carapace on it. But yeah, we've all got our favourites and the ones that we like. So I'll keep those. There's some species I've had for a couple of years and I've still not let any go.
Is the Hoffs, are they still the largest isopod in the hobby, or we found some bigger ones?
No, I think the largest terrestrial isopod now is Porcellio expansus Lasenia, which is a locality of Porcellio expansus and is really big. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm sure someone will catch me in the comments who's got their phone available, but I believe they are now the
If
biggest.
Bill's in there or no? Are they the biggest on the planet, or is there some in nature?
No. Some of the aquatic ones are massive. There's that huge one in
but land isopods.
Not that we've discovered so far. I don't believe the biggest ones are the Mediterranean Porcellio species. Hilaria brevicornis is quite a large roly-poly, and it's stocky, but it isn't as long as some of the Porcellios.
I think the aquatic ones they just live right at the bottom of some depths of sea levels, though, don't they?
I think there's
deep.
a huge variety of them, again in shape and size, though. But those huge ones, I was lucky enough to. The Falmouth Maritime Museum had a display on a couple of years back, and they had one in a jar. And it is, if you check out my Instagram, scroll down a little bit, and I put my hand up against it, and it is absolutely massive. It's going to be about that size.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's like a fucking armadillo. It's big.
were they that size on land, like hundreds of thousands of years ago, or
maybe?
I'd be interested to check the fossil records of them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but there must have been. Arthropleura there was a lot more oxygen. Insects, well, they're not insects, are they? Crustaceans, but insects were able to get larger back then because there was more oxygen in the environment. So we got bigger centipedes, bigger millipedes, bigger spiders. We probably have bigger isopods too.
The centipedes were huge. If those centipedes were around there now, there wouldn't be a human population.
Yeah.
We'd be far too weak for them.
Arthropleura was the big one, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely Nature's Instinct. That'd be awesome. Drop me a message. Hey, Rob. What I have noticed with yourself is your tattoos.
Yeah.
And kind of gives the impression that you've travelled a lot.
No, I've been to Singapore and
or very sea loving and.
Yeah, well, obviously, I moved to Cornwall when I was 18, and we moved to Newquay, which is very much a sea-loving place. It's the surfing capital of England. I never got on with surfing, but one thing I've always enjoyed doing is sitting on the beach and having a spliff. I've always enjoyed sitting near the sea. We go for walks on the beach, 2-3 times a week. We're really lucky that it's just on our doorstep. So yeah, I do like the sea. And my favourite animal, despite keeping isopods, is octopus. I absolutely love octopi.
Jellyfish for me. Apart from the spiders and stuff.
Cephalopods all the way, man. There's just something about them. They're so intelligent, and the fact that they have such a short lifespan always makes me think if they could live longer, they actually probably could reach very intelligent levels. The giant Pacific octopus only lives 4 years. you know, and the size it grows in
I
4 years.
I thought they could do 25 years plus.
I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong here. It could
For
just be a fact
some
that I read
reason.
my head. I always thought they were short-lived creatures. I'm going to
I'm
Google
having a
it.
little Google.
So am I.
Octopus. I suppose you should put
Totally wrong.
octopus lifespan. It's going to give an average or not. And I think you're right.
Yeah, 3 to 5 years.
Giant Pacific octopus, 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, and for something that grows that big in such a short space of time, and how clever that they've been recorded to be, and you know, puzzles that they can solve, and
That is so sad.
mad. They're just
That
mad
is
creatures,
so
though, aren't they?
sad.
Really, they are the. I think if you look at them, they are the furthest from anything else. So alien about them.
Completely. But then when you see him on the telly, and even with the eyes and that, you can see the intelligence.
Oh yeah, definitely. Have you watched that one? My Octopus Teacher, the guy who keeps one at home for a few years and like really documents sort of keeping it. And it's a pretty cool documentary, to be fair. It puts this massive aquarium for it, and it learns to ring a bell for food. A little bell rings a bell. It's cracking.
But yeah, jellyfish is the one for me. I'd love a jellyfish tank.
Yeah.
But the prices of them, oh my god! Just the initial setup costs through the roof, just even for a small jellyfish tank.
One thing I've always wanted to keep is blue tree monitors. I've always loved monitor lizards. I've kept quite a few species in the past, but I've always wanted to keep tree monitors, and I've always promised myself I would never do it until I could do it properly, as in like 8 by 5 by 7. You know, like it needs to be a proper live planted big enclosure, and it's something I always keep. It's a passion project. It's not a profit project. It's just a passion project. So that I've always wanted to do. Maybe one day, maybe one day we get the business out of the house. Maybe I'll have some space here to finally keep something that's not part of the business.
Nature's Insect says, what about seahorses? Now, I do really like seahorses, but a lot of them are endangered. So I prefer to go and view them at the actual aquariums.
They're very difficult to keep alive, aren't they? And definitely to breed in captivity. There was a really interesting documentary a few years ago about a guy in Dublin who had managed to do it, actually commercially farm seahorses. The reason he was doing it was because the Chinese, they use seahorses as pretty much a form of paracetamol, and they take them out of the sea in the millions. And they have tried in China to do it, and there was footage of these abandoned seahorse farms in China where they'd failed. But this guy on an industrial unit in Dublin worked out the sort of the key to doing it, and he went over to China and taught them how to do it, so they could breed seahorses in captivity, effectively having to take less out of the wild to meet their demand. Now, someone needs to tell them that it don't fucking work, just use paracetamol. But at least they're doing something to propagate them in captivity so that they're not taking as much out of the wild.
That is a problem with a lot of the marine stuff. In the marine hobby is wild caught.
It's very difficult to breed.
That's why a lot of the marine fish are so expensive, because they have to take out quite a few, because a lot of them will pass away in transit, which is such a shame. But just so that we can have them at home.
You can't replicate the marine environment properly at home, can you? You can do it on a small scale, but you can't replicate. Like many of these species, they spend the first part of their life just floating in the phytoplankton, don't they? You don't know what's happening in that part of their life, how to replicate it. We're getting better at it, but I don't know enough about aquaculture or marine aquaculture to sort of go into that. But I know
the closest I've seen is there's a couple of lads in Coventry that literally they've got corals on a coral reef, but these corals, they don't go underwater, so the waves would crash over them, and that's how they've set the tank up, and it's just incredible, absolutely incredible. They've got several different coral tanks that are just will absolutely blow your mind. Will they let me film it? No, they won't. And I found that I've got quite a few people that keep fish, and they keep some amazing fish tanks, but they're very, very private.
They don't want to gatekeep.
No, they're quite happy for me to go around and relax and watch it, and you know what I mean, but not film. So I won't even take a sneaky picture. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've got one of my friends, Gaius. He keeps some stunning predatory fish in some. He's got like a double garage. He's got some huge tanks, and he won't let me film those either. He says basically because his garage opens up to the public footpath. He says it
People know what's in there. Yeah, that's fair enough.
no. Kirsty's accidentally on purpose ordered another mystery box. Yeah, man, just saying it would be nice, like a daydream. It would be cool if you knew what you're doing with the seahorses to get them, breed them, and then just go down the beach and release them. Yeah, obviously it's not that straightforward, but if you could, then I would.
Yeah.
Fresh Josh, I was watching a video of someone who was documenting new fish and used to import fish, and he said 70% always died, and he did it for years. When he eventually stopped, they came to his house. Turned out they were using the fish imports to import illicit drugs.
One way of doing it.
Amy says, remember the discount code Scott's Inverts 20 all in capital letters at Micro Exotics. Details are just scrolling across the screen as well. That's on till midnight tonight. So if you want to take advantage of 20% discount off Ads' website, go and have a look. And if he's messed up, his already discounted items will have 20% off as well as.
Yeah, they will. They will, because I haven't had time to go through and change anything. So it's just a blanket 20% off of the entire website.
Nature's Instinct saving up for one of Luke's mystery boxes. They are worth it. The BTS boxes. Dude. Wow. Let's not talk mystery boxes, says Osman. Have you actually physically timed it till midnight? Or do you have to physically turn it off?
Oh, no. If you set it so that it ends today, it will end at midnight. So actually, technically, it's been valid since this morning. But no one would have known the code till now.
I'd have known that.
Yeah.
I'd have snuck it out, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you just I mean, I could end it whenever I wanted, but if I set it up, automate it, I won't forget to end it. It will end it itself. It's pretty straightforward. Like I say, the app on my phone to run the website is so useful. It's a really handy app to have.
I'm waiting on a dry goods mystery box from Charlie, said the Mad Animal House. Nature's Instinct has put his Isopod mate onto you.
Man.
So give him the discount code. Tell them if they order by midnight, 20% off.
Works till midnight.
What I'll do, I think, is we'll play the original video and then we'll play the updated one for anybody that's just come in, because I've noticed people have left and then come in.
I'm just going to take this off because I'm getting sick of the sound of my own voice this evening.
Right, yes. So I told you I would take a video of where we're at. So this is the unit. It's basically just an old wooden shed, and it definitely was in a lot worse nick than this when we took it on. So when we took it on last year, it wasn't insulated, had no floors, barely any electrics. There's holes in the wall you could see outside. This is going to be the shop front. It's still a while off. I still need to finish off the shelving and stain that one and fit up the electrics over here. We've got some more racking to go over here. Then obviously this will be the shop front. Then we come through to the middle section, which is what's going to be the sort of like the warehouse slash sort of like staff room type thing. A bit of chair down there and kind of a kettle and a little fridge. So yeah, it's nice nice space to work from. I've started moving a lot of stuff in. I've got loads more stuff from home to move in. There's another rack to go over on the side there, some shelving to go up. And then this room here, I've just finished clearing out most of the old stuff from in here. Getting quite happy with the temperatures now. It's still a mess. There's still a few more racks to come in, some from home. We're going to start moving all the animals over into this room this week, and then yeah, this will be the animal breeding room. So I've got all the isopods, nice bench to work from. There's another big 5-foot rack to go here, 3 4-foot racks to go here. So this will be a double gang down here. So yeah, I'm quite chuffed for where we're at. It's taken nearly a year. I've done all the work myself with a little bit of help from a friend. But yeah, it's taken me some time. I'm quite excited. One of the main things I'm quite excited about is we're going to have the leaf cutters living in the counter. And then you'll be able to see them through the window here. And then we'll have them come out and run in a tube across the top here and then back down into a feeding platform on this side. And they'll come up back across the tube and back into the nest. This counter, I've made it tall enough so that we can do terrarium workshops in the shop. I've got loads of cool shit going on the walls, like skulls and taxidermy insects and stuff like that. So yeah, it's coming on. I reckon we'll be working out of here by the end of May, running the website and actually running the business from here by the end of May. And then the goal is to actually have the shop open by September. But we'll see where we get on with that. But hey ho.
And then the update. And I feel the pain and the happiness, because when we moved house and we got the shed at the bottom of the garden with this place, the wife was over the moon not to have any inverts in the house.
Oh, she's well chuffed. She hates
Oh.
spiders. She absolutely hates spiders. When I got back from the BTS the other week, the London show the other week, I saw a team of mail, and I opened the lid and he ran straight up my fucking arm. He's on my back. I couldn't see him, and I needed him like intact to go in with a girl. And so I called my missus in and was like, "Sweetheart, can you just tell me where it is on my back?" And I give her a pot. I was like, "Can you just put it over it?" And she was like, "You can fuck right off. I'm not going anywhere near it." I was like, "Oh, can you just hold your phone up as a mirror then, so I can see where he is?"
My wife would laugh at me, video it, and put it in the WhatsApp group. That's exactly what she'd do.
She wouldn't even get that close to film it.
Yeah, and then she'd catch it.
No, my missus was.
You were happy when they all moved out of the house, weren't
Oh yeah.
you?
She's quite chuffed. It's just nice to sort of get that separation a little bit between the business and work, because it's something that's consumed my life, for the last years.
I think if this place didn't have the shed at the bottom of the garden, one, we wouldn't have bought it, well, rented it, sorry. But two, that would have meant putting everything in the back room. And we've got, well, as everybody knows, we've got one child at 6 with autism that would walk past them and tell me that they're shit. And then we've got a 5-year-old with high functioning ADHD that would want to get every single one out. Every day, all day.
I think the one for us it's the fungus gnats. The amount of times we had like a full fungus gnat outbreak in the room, and they would just get, they were everywhere in the house. Like, you'll be on your fucking phone scrolling at night, and because the lights are off, they're all coming to your phone. It's just breathing them in. It's not nice. And she's been very tolerable. She's very, very patient, especially considering the business has grown to a point where there was stuff in the kitchen, there was stuff in the living room, there was stuff in every room of the house. I've got a van on the drive that hasn't worked for about 3 or 4 months, and it's just become a shed, basically an extra shed out there. And it just got to a point. So it's nice now to finally be able to move everything into one place. Or it still needs loads of organising, because obviously when it was all in the bug room, I knew where it all was, because it's, I put it there. I go in there every day. Now I've moved it all. I'm like, fuck, where's that?
We're looking for
Layla's glasses.
I've no idea.
They were
Do
there.
that.
She's about to make tea now. I'm just getting in the bath.
Amy's we're skint, so she might possibly at BTS, but yeah. Other bonus of the events is less likely get gnats flying everywhere. I've found I got them I got gnats in the live food box the other day in the Red Runners, and I looked in and I thought, oh shit. And I thought if I just went outside and just went, yeah, took the lid off and off they went.
Yeah.
I just thought, what else can you do? Do you know what I mean? Even the slugs we've got and the snails, the slugs are in the house. Well, that's the only stuff that we've got here in the house.
I think going back to
no frogs in the house as well.
When I first started out, I put about 10 cultures, and the fungus gnats in them were so bad. I had to buy 2 of those like pop-up mesh tents to keep the cultures inside. And before I do husbandry, I'd take the whole thing outside with all the tubs in it, open the tent up, fuck them all off outside, then open all the lids and fuck them off, because they were it just, it's one thing I've learned to deal with now, but my missus never learned to deal with it. So happy wife, happy life. It's just
that's an understatement.
Yeah,
that is an understatement. But now it's just you open up the shed door, and sometimes it's not as bad as what it used to be, because I tend to keep more springtails in with all the colonies and stuff like that, and just be a bit more on it with the maintenance now.
It tends to happen when you set up a load of new cultures. So like when you've got a load of new stuff coming in all in one go, and you put all fresh soil in, and they quickly just colonize it. You end up with loads.
But what I've done as well, like the snails, we rehoused them outside. It was nice and warm. Dominican Republic, they're from UFO snails, and rehoused them outside. So any of the flies that were in the original, just off they went.
Let's change position. My back's hurt. Oh bastard!
Welcome to Live with Chilled Out Micro Exotics.
Sorry, I'm really used to when we do these. I stand in the bug room with all the bugs behind me. But they're not here, so just.
I said to Tara, says I ain't doing it from the spider room tonight. It's just too hot. Do you know what I mean? And I thought the temperatures in there are gonna be probably about 28, and it's been hot all day.
No, the next time we do, when we do it, I'll make sure I go over there and I'll sort the internet out properly, and we'll do it from over there. We'll show everyone around the shop a little bit better, and I haven't actually done anything on social media regarding the.
Or
shop.
if you pull your thumb out and sort the shop out, we can come down and do a live from yours.
Well, as it goes, like I'd originally said, I was going to open in. I was aiming to open in September. But I'm thinking I'm actually closer to finishing than I thought I was going to be. I was going to try and finish off some of the shelving this week. Got to do a bit more painting. It's ready to start stocking, really.
Fresh Josh adds part-time as Babe Station.
Yeah, Josh. Oh no, someone to write a letter in. Watching Babe Station, someone to write a letter for that. You're not allowed to show any. That's that bloke who wrote to Ofcom because some bird showed her minge on Babe Station. It's like, who the fuck's watching Babe Station and then moans and someone shows their minge? Like, what the fuck? Sorry.
Who watches Babe Station anyway?
Well, when you're 16 and you ain't got the Wi-Fi code and you have to eat late night wank, Babe Station. You still got to use a lot of imagination, haven't you? But
you just go and find your dad's DVD collection and rob one.
Oh, it's videos, wasn't it?
VHS.
The worst thing is you put it in and it plays at the point that he came. You didn't rewind it. Filth. It's a bit dark quickly, isn't it?
It took a little turn.
Oh, sorry, but I'm really tired though.
Yeah, I am too. I think we'll finish it off in a minute or two. But just to reiterate to everybody, if you head over to marcoexotics.co.uk and put in the discount code Scott's Inverts 20, all the letters, capital letters, that will get you 20% discount off his entire site, including any promotions that he's already running at the moment because he's daft and he forgot to change it properly, just like he did last time. And that is on till midnight as well.
Fill your boots.
So if you're not going to BTS,
Just
you
put
want
it out there as well.
Isopods,
Just so everybody knows, we ship on Mondays and Tuesdays, so we're done shipping this week. So any orders placed now will go out next week. We've got a big list of jobs to get on with this week now.
do you still get messages like on a Thursday going, I put my order in on Wednesday, where is it?
Oh, dude, get fucking messages on Monday saying, I ordered yesterday, next day delivery. It's like, you ordered on Sunday. How the fuck? The post office ain't even open, dude. But nobody reads.
A lot of the sellers say the same thing, you know. That they get messages on Mondays and Tuesdays when it's been a bank holiday Monday. Going,
especially on a bank holiday. But what we've set up on the website is we've set it up so that they have to read the terms and conditions, or at least tick the box to say they've read the terms and conditions. So you have to tick the box to proceed forward. Yeah, but
if anybody's like me, they scroll to the bottom where it says tick to say that you've read it, tick it, 100%. And then click and continue.
100%. But as a seller, you've got to cover your own ass because my PayPal will always take the buyer's side, even when they're fucking wrong. Which I'm not saying you guys are, but sometimes people, you have to deal with a lot of people sometimes, and they're not always right. And you know, we get people that they'll buy livestock in the winter, and they'll deliberately use the standard shipping option, which says no live arrival guarantee. And I'll even go to the point where I'll phone them and say, it's winter, are you sure you don't want to upgrade? And then, no, I'm happy with that. And you send it, and then a couple of them arrive dead. And they're like, well, I want a refund. It's like, well, no, dude, because you're not covered by the live arrival guarantee. If you'd ordered special delivery, from the time it leaves us to the time it gets to you is the shortest possible time it can be in the post, then I can guarantee that it'll be alive. If you order first class, it could take 3 days. I can't guarantee that it'll be live. A, because the heat pack don't last that long, and B, it's been in the tub for 3 days. So we only do live arrival guarantee with special delivery, and that goes for plants as well.
That's understandable.
That's just what works, and literally 99% of sellers have the same policy across the board.
Nature's Instinct? No, I'm not doing IHS. I do the invert shows apart from Glasgow, BTS and C's. I just couldn't afford to do another one. Really couldn't afford it. And if I went to IHS, I'd be looking at reptiles again, and then it'd be like, oh my word. Can't do it. Cannot do it. I mean, I'd love to keep reptiles again, but the space they can take up. And I think a 4-foot Viv, the amount of spiders that get in that area is incredible. I'm going to order something from you on Christmas Day and message you on Boxing Day and say, where is it?
I'll tell you, you're a cunt, then it ain't going out till January. From experience, Christmas is the worst time to ship, especially live animals. You have to allow enough time before Christmas, and that gap in between Christmas is terribly unreliable. They've got a big backlog still from before Christmas. It's honestly, from my experiences, you hit a cut-off time before Christmas that it's safe to ship, and after that, just don't bother again until it reopens. Most people will understand. I've still yet to find anyone with a reason as to why they need those isopods the next day. What possible reason could you have to need them the next day?
ADHD.
I get that because I've got ADHD, but if you order on a Sunday,
nice instinct.
Is it? I think what it is, a lot of people order from Amazon, don't they? And Amazon have got their own team of vans. You order it, it comes from one of their 50 warehouses, and it gets to you the next day, sometimes even the same day. Well, a lot of us are small one-person businesses, and we have to use Royal Mail, and it isn't the fastest. It isn't the most reliable, but it is actually the only company that will take live insects.
And I've had, well, it was the same job that I'm doing now, but for a different company. I went and repaired a forklift inside of Royal Mail, and they keep everything in like these metal cages on wheels. And it was the start of the winter, so it was cold, but it was not exceptionally cold. But as soon as you went into that warehouse, it was fucking freezing. So if you're posting something over Christmas, it's gonna get very cold. As soon as that heat pack fails, you're caboodled.
Yeah. I mean, we always use 48-hour heat packs, so it covers you for. You send special delivery. It doesn't get there the next day for some reason. Generally, the heat pack is still warm on the second day, but it's just not worth it. I mean, I will quite often stop shipping when it's too cold. We do it a lot, and I know it annoys some people, but I would much rather annoy 2 people than 10 people get.
I think the people that get annoyed in sellers not shipping when it's too cold really need to do a reality check, because we're not just in this hobby to keep inverts or keep animals. We're in the hobby to look after them and do the best that we can for them in our care, and that also involves not having them sent out when it's fucking freezing.
Yeah, I think if you communicate with people,
like, -3 and people are whinging because their spiders not being sent out in the cold weather. It's like, are you being serious?
Yeah.
You know?
And people they do get annoyed. It's just human nature, isn't it? But you have to deal with it. But I think primarily most 99% people, as long as you keep them in the loop and you keep the communication with them, you say, look, I am really sorry, I'm not shipping this week. We plan on shipping next week, weather permitting. Weather gets bad the night before, let them know, say, look, I'm sorry, it's still too cold. Would you like a refund? Or I can hold the order again till next week. Again, 99% of people will say, no, I'm happy to wait. Some people might want a refund. That's no dramas, but they might come back to you in the future because you've been sensible about it. You give them a refund. You're not having any issues.
No, they get the refund and then go looking at other sites that are still delivering.
Doing exactly the same thing. Exactly doing exactly the same thing, or not delivering. Yeah, still.
With your ADHD ads, do you find that being around the inverts helps to calm the mind down?
Yeah, because it's that hyper focus. Like a husbandry day, for example, I won't fucking eat because I just start the job and I just go. I won't look at my phone. I'll just put some music or a podcast on and I'll just go. And I won't eat. I won't drink. Sometimes I don't even go to the fucking toilet because I'm so hyper focused in that job. And then I'll get disturbed and then all of a sudden my flow is all fucked. But yeah, definitely. Like it really helps. But then, it's like having ADHD. You'll start something and you'll be like, oh, that needs cleaning out. And oh, that could look so much better if I put that stick in there. And
I was talking to my mum about it, like literally yesterday. And I said to her, because we were just on about the kids and that. And she says, well, you were into absolutely everything growing up. She said, you start something, never finish it, and blah, 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 blah. And I thought, well, that's been my entire life. As well as making myself fail, like setting myself up to fail, or doing things to end relationships and stuff like that when I didn't really want to. And I found, since having spiders, one, it's my longest hobby that I've ever had. And two, it don't just help me out in the fact that I like to keep spiders. I've noticed my mental health has been a hell of a lot more improved. Well, the ADHD side of things has been a lot more improved. Concentrate on things for a little bit longer, not flitting from one thing to another as much as.
I think it helps to be.
It's crazy when you find your niche, you're well away.
I think it helps to have something that you are really super interested in. It also helps you, you're part of a community of other people that are super interested in it. When you go to school and you're all shoved into fucking school, when you're all into the class. Top G, you dirty bastard! Look at he's got his fucking nipples out and everything. He's in Brighton.
If you wanted Babe Station, we've got Babe Station.
Oh my!
Yeah, but you got
Babe
your nipples out
Station
as well.
He's teasing us because he's got lights on.
Oh yeah, look, he's just showing a little bit of flesh there, just enough.
Just a little bit. We'll get the pictures for after.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone. No, it helps to be part of a community, doesn't it? And that helps you stay grounded on a hobby. But it also helps with the animals, is because it's not one of these hobbies that you can walk away from, because you have to. They're your responsibility.
I think with the community, it definitely helps you to stay focused on the actual inverts or whatever it is that you're doing, because you're part of something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the whole YouTube thing. I absolutely love. I'm not bothered about views or subscriptions or stuff like that, but actually filming something, maybe putting a bit of information onto it and getting it out there, that for me is so relaxing. And so it gives me such an overwhelming sense of achievement. But if I put it out there and got 2 views, I'd still be just as happy as if I got a few hundred.
It's fucking Andrew Tate wannabe down here. Look, top G, jog on.
Failing. Oh, nice, Amy. Those bubbles were not generated from the hot tub. Horses keep Sally calm. Pets gives Amy purpose. You got to. If Charlie's got Debs in there, those bubbles are not. Yeah, exactly what Dave was saying. That's why Charlie G hasn't come on earlier, you know, because him and Debs were making bubbles in the hot tub.
Yo.
All right.
Yeah, not bad, you?
I fucking take you seriously sometimes, you cunt. I can't.
I mean, and the friendships that you make in the invert hobby. I mean, both of us with Charlie. Do you know what I mean? And both of us full stop.
Yeah.
Make some incredible friendships.
I just remember me and Charlie last year at fucking at Malvern, and we just smashed half a magic mushroom chocolate bar each. Just sat in this little Airbnb, just tripping the fuck out. Shit. What did he say?
It's
my
true.
feet have shrunk. My feet have shrunk. I think my feet have shrunk.
Was that?
You? I think my feet have shrunk. Don't make it just tripping. You do make some good friends, good stories. It's a good community to be a part of. You know, there's as long as I don't know where I'm going with that. I'm not starting.
And Charlie's barbecue is now going to be the staple for the next 20,
every
30
year,
London.
yeah. Every year it's going to be like, you know,
such one of the best invert nights ever.
Bugfest.
Bug barbecue at Charlie's every London show.
Did your mum find the little gift I left her in her bedroom?
What, your boxer shorts?
You're right.
Yeah.
You wanker.
That's probably what he did into the boxer shorts before leaving them.
I just did that under the pillow.
Charlie's burgers. Oh,
pretty good. Pretty good. I must enjoy it. I most certainly enjoyed the cup of chicken nuggets whilst watching the fight.
Right, I'm going to go get myself a drink. A well-earned alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, don't drip all water inside, please.
and you been over France, haven't you, Charlie?
Yeah.
That looked cool as fuck.
Yeah, now I'm down south, but not in France. I'm down south in England now, but
How many of you were driving along the motorways? For those of you watching that don't know, Charlie's a bit of a biker. Well, say bit, huge biker.
I think there was about 100 of us or so, 120, I think was the final count.
Do you feel like you actually absolutely own the road with 100 other bikers around you?
Yeah. Oh fuck, it's cold.
Feeling must be incredible.
Jesus. Oh yeah, it's good. It was real good. It was a great weekend.
Oh,
I'll tell you all about it when I see you on Sunday.
Yeah, man. You come in, yeah?
I am now. Yeah, I wasn't, but I am.
I didn't think you were, no. Are you coming?
Yeah,
Are you
I
staying
am.
overnight?
I'm on Spider Shop.
Are you staying overnight?
No, I'm not. No.
Oh. Because Luke's organising a bit of a food and drinks at the Heathcote in Leamington. Everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
How much are Charlie's mystery boxes? Nature's Instinct, drop him a message, 8-Legged Emporium, and Charlie will whack you a mystery box together for spiders. And if there's anything in there that you kind of think, what do I do with this, or how do I keep it? Charlie's knowledge is incredible. I think the hot tub's got to his internet.
Yeah, I can do that.
Dropped his phone.
What?
Dropped his phone in the hot tub.
No.
I don't think that's a bubble we're looking at.
No.
Josh says, I wanted to come, but unfortunately, all the trains from Peterborough are cancelled and replaced with buses. So getting a lift. Oh, you're getting a lift on Sunday with friends. I mean, we all love the invert shows. I think the difference with the BTS is just the history of it is 37, 38 years. And you get to meet taxonomists.
He keeps cutting out, doesn't he?
Oh, this is nice.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
Instincts wants your boxer shorts as well, Charlie.
Yeah, I can do that.
He's a big lesbian.
I am literally in the middle of a field. In the middle of a field in the middle of nowhere in a hot tub right now, so my
I
signal's
thought you got a
bad.
hot tub for home.
Nah, that'd be nice. Maybe by the next party I will have. Just to make it even more of a mess.
Absolutely.
It was definitely a mess in the morning, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Who would you say was the biggest mess at the barbecue, Charlie?
He can't say because he'll get
I
a
would
shitload
say
Because she's right there with him.
of people. If Debs doesn't go off to bed early, right, it's not a decent night. You know she's not had a good night.
I'm not saying anyone else. She'll punch me next time.
well,
Get one of them Spanish punches next time I see her.
Oh, she's a legend, man. She's literally looked fine 1 minute, and then the next minute she disappeared. And Charlie's like, "Yeah, Debs has gone to bed."
thank you, Kev Mac. I think I know who Kev Mac is. I think I sold to him a long time ago. Real nice guy, does great enclosures. Yeah, I don't know. Jezza was pretty fucked up.
Jezza was living his best life.
The problem with Jezza,
But
right,
Jezza's always quite
is he tries to keep up with
still
Luke,
cold.
and he can keep up with Luke for about 3 hours, and then suddenly, no, he can't.
Right, boys, I am going to have to shoot off in a minute because
Yeah, same as, man. Same as.
still got a few bits I've got to do this evening. I literally came straight from putting my daughter to bed onto this laptop.
I came in from work, cooked dinner, and then boom.
I had all the fucking after school clubs tonight, athletics club. Straight from that, got her changed in the boot of the car, took her straight to Rainbows, flew up to the tip while she was at Rainbows, dropped a load of stuff over the tip, come back down, picked her up, come back. My mate was here. We quickly sorted the leaf cutting ants out, caught all them, had some dinner, give her a shower, put her to bed, come back down straight onto this.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
so
I came home from work, cooked dinner. Charlie be proud actually. Cajun chicken pasta from scratch, and then straight onto here.
Nice.
With
Nice.
parmesan, double cream. Oh, mate.
Very nice. Right, well, I'll be off as well. Thought I'd just join you in my hot tub for a little bit.
Yeah, make us jealous.
Well, I'll go down to the garage to continue this call
Oh,
with
nice.
Charlie now. Anyway,
He's gonna grab the Kleenex and go to the garage, and hope that you put Debs to bed.
he sent me my own video later on. Right, you sweetheart.
Yep, I certainly will, baby.
But thank you to everybody in the comments. Really, really appreciated it. Appreciate the support as well. Hopefully, going forward, the lives are going to be back to normal every Tuesday. We've had a little bit of an upset along the way over the last couple of months, but hopefully it's calmed down a little bit. We'll have to see. But next week on Tuesday from 8 p.m, we've got Spar Spiders on. Luke's doing similar to what Ads has done tonight. So for anybody that can't get to the BTS but wants a BTS discount, we've got the Isopods from Ads this week. Next week we've got Spiders. He's also going to have a couple of his legendary mystery boxes, which are double value, that he's going to hold back ready for the live stream as well. And if he runs out, we'll just bully him into making more, which he absolutely loves. And I get an absolute massive bollocking off Daddy Spot. In the last video, I just asked him straight. I was like, do you make any money off these mystery boxes? Nah.
It was quite funny actually at the London show. Luke's dad come up to me and he was like, "Fucking recognised you," and I knew I recognised you, and it was from when I used to work in the reptile shop in Coventry about 10 years ago. And it's the first time I ever bred spiders. He lent me his male versicolor, and we bred versies in the shop, and he had after sack back. But yeah, it was weird because it was just like a blast from the past. Oh shit, yeah, I remember you, man. Like,
That's mental, because 10 years ago, I'd literally... Oh no, I'd just sorted myself out then. No, I'd been clean a year then. 10 years ago, I was clean a year. I've been clean, 12 years. 12 years now. Yeah, so I would have had my flat and just thinking about getting into spiders when you pair were doing all that. And I would have been obviously been in Coventry at the same time.
Do you go to KBN, Coventry?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like the main store, aren't they now?
Well, yeah, full stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who was the guy in Nuneaton as well? You got the other guy in Nuneaton, haven't you?
Shane, Boldhead.
Shane, isn't it? I think. He's
I
a nice
think
guy
it
as well.
is, yeah. Nuneaton Reptiles.
Yeah. You know, we used to work in Realm of Reptiles, and it became Creatures of Coventry. I worked there for 5 years. Used to get the train from Longbridge in Birmingham every day. Used to take a half-hour walk, get a train from Longbridge into Birmingham city centre, then get another train into Coventry, and then do another half-hour walk down to the shop, and then come back.
So when I worked in the drug and alcohol ward,
I loved it.
When I worked at drug and alcohol ward, I used to do what you're doing, but backwards. So I lived in Bedworth, so I had to get the bus to Coventry, run through Coventry, managed to get the train to Birmingham New Street, grab a coffee because it was like a 10-minute wait for the train then from not New Street, but the one opposite.
Oh, Moore Street, or is it?
Moore Street, that's the one.
Yeah,
into the jewellery quarter, and then walk down from the jewellery quarter to the rehab.
mission. I used to fucking hate it, man.
Mate,
But
there was one time it snowed that bad. I got there, and people were phoning in, and literally the manager was going, "You live 20 minutes away. Scott's just got here from Bedworth on public transport.
yeah, what's your excuse?
What's your?" And I was thinking, "Fuck, don't say that." That day actually, it snowed that bad. There was about 3 or 4 rooms in the rehab that were empty, so I slept in one of those. I slept in one of those, got up in the morning, did my shift, and then went home.
I remember doing that a couple of times at the shop, getting really, really drunk, and then coming back to the shop, opening the shutter about that much, crawling underneath it,
Right.
and then just sleeping on the warm floor. I hate to think the amount of like fucking crickets and cockroaches that would crawl over me, but when you're that drunk, it don't matter. Used to get up, clean my teeth in the shop sink, open the shutter up, and I was there, ready for work. Yeah.
Night, Osman. Yeah, there is a scam page at the moment impersonating Spar Spiders. You could tell the difference. Spar Spiders have got about 2,000 likes, and this scam page has got about 3.
And someone else did that, Riz. I
And-
think it was Jack. Jack said that, but the scam page had more likes than him, bless him.
Somebody tried impersonating me on TikTok for about 10 minutes. That was funny. I just thought, well, what are you going to get out of it? Do you know what I mean? I've not got a huge following. I don't understand. I get why there was a fake Dave's Little Beasties one, because they were hoping that they could get, like, you know, with his popularity, he'd obviously on TikTok possibly get enough of a following to earn some money, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Scummy fucker.
just scammers would just do anything, won't they? Try and get a bit of cash.
I got an email yesterday, and it was like, your £5,600 refund is ready. Please click the link. It's like refund.ra. I was like, mate, I'm not fucking opening that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not
Links
opening that at all.
Links and text messages and dodgy phone calls. You are due a refund. Write me a letter then. Thanks.
We get I get phone calls all the time. Like, who did I get the other day? Trustpilot phoned me up the other day, and they're like trying to sell me the Trustpilot package. And he's like, it's £495. And I thought, oh, it's not too bad for the year. So what do I get with that? And he's like, oh, well, you get 200 referrals every month. Every time you send an order out, we'll send them a link to say, please leave us a review. I was like, oh, £475 a year doesn't seem too bad. He's like, oh, no, that's per month. I was like, fuck right off, mate. What, per month? So you want me to give you nearly £6,000 a year to send out 200 invites a month? I said, what's stopping me buying 6,000 business cards for 25 quid and just putting one of them in the box with a QR code to your page? No, I'm all right. I've saved myself £6,000. Thank you.
Yeah.
You can use our widget. I was like, I've already got your widget. It's a premium widget. I was like, what's the difference? He's like, it shows reviews. I was like,
Premium just costs more.
he said, shall I call you back in a few months? I said, no, I'm not fucking interested. Like, period. I'd rather hire someone part-time to work 1 day a week than give you £6,000 a year.
We were looking at Australia to move, right? Not now. Like in 5 or 6 years, possibly. And do you know when you have one of those ideas? And I was just filling out this form online, and I thought, oh yeah. And then it says, when are you thinking about it? And I was like, oh, in years. Do you know what I mean? And they literally phoned me and went, yeah, you're eligible to move straight to Australia. Yeah, you just need to pay us 400 quid and we can sort it all out, blah, 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 blah. And I went, what you on about, love?
Just because
I said, did you not see what I put on the form? I wanted a rough idea sent via email to what the requirements are.
Not a phone call.
Not a phone call demanding like 400 quid for what? You filling out the forms on my behalf. I can do that myself.
Yeah.
But I think Tara's gone off the idea again now. So
My sister's done it. She moved over there last year, and they love it. But they want to have a baby. So I think the only one thing they're sort of missing at the moment is family, because you don't know anyone, do you? When you go there, they've literally gone on their own. So it's quite hard when you get a bit older. You only start making friends at work, don't you? And they don't really know anyone, but they are enjoying it. They are enjoying it. But I think they come home a couple of times, so they do miss home. But then they go back to Australia, like, actually, the weather's loads better here.
Mate, my mate's over there. He's an office furniture salesman. I think he's like one of the managers now, but his property is literally on the side of a mountain full of trees. He's got a pool, he's got a double garage. It's amazing. And he said to me, he said, like an average wage here, you could quadruple it for over there.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's weird. They earn really good money.
I repair hydraulics. My wage over there would be ×3 plus a couple of grand.
It's not bad, but
I'm like,
it's a better lifestyle over there, but it just depends if you I don't know if you want to be that far away from your family, isn't it? I guess they all go over there. If you take your whole family there, it's different, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. I am definitely going to have to go though, mate.
We're going to end the live. Let's end the live. Massive thanks to you all for coming in and saying hello, asking questions and commenting in the comments and dropping likes. Really, really appreciate it. And thank you to anybody that's popped over to Ads' site and ordered anything with that 20% discount. As we said earlier, Ads is a plonk donk, so the 20% discount also applies to any discounted items that are already on the website. So if something's 20% discounted, you get an extra 20% on top because he's a plonk. But I mean, if you're looking at getting into isopods and go get one of the beginner species that you mentioned, and then maybe get a couple of the vents from his site as well for the enclosure. Especially as we were discussing earlier, the babies tend to get out of the homemade holes that you make in the side of enclosures where the vents, nothing can get out. So,
well, as it goes today, I'll leave you with this one little parting thing that we're working on. My best mate, we got our units at the same time. He's 2 units up from me. He's got a few different machines for cutting acrylic and stuff like that. And today we made a prototype for something that we're looking at bringing out in the future, which could be pretty cool. So they're teaming up and doing a few different things. Quite excited by it. It's a bit rough around the edges today, but we come up with a few good ideas, and he started cutting some acrylic today, so should be quite cool. Keep an eye on the website though. Yeah, well, it's just it could be small to start with, but if the idea pans out, it could be good. Could be good. I won't say too much, just in case it doesn't work out. But just start playing around with some ideas. Yeah. But no, thanks for having me on, mate. It's always a pleasure. I enjoy coming on with you.
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you doing the discount out for everybody as well.
You're very welcome, mate. Very welcome. Anything for you, Scott. You know.
Appreciate it. Night, everybody. Take care, and hopefully see a lot of you on Sunday.